Well, if you're joining us live, you just witnessed a thriller. I don't think I'm being hyperbolic. I don't think I'm exaggerating in saying this. That was one of Stephen Curry's greatest games ever, at least regular season wise. Unbelievable performance. Every hint of panic I had about this guy gone. I was all the anxiety, thankfully unnecessary. Nothing that was substantial. Wardell is still him, and that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. And Armando Lara will join us in a little bit as soon as he's ready. Actually, as soon as we get a sighting of the professor, he's going to join the program. But man, oh man, the Golden State Warriors complete a 2-game sweep in San Antonio. I never thought I'd say that ever, and yet here we are with Victor Wembanyama. Just overtaken by Steph, by Dre, by Jimmy Butler, by Podziemski and GP2 hitting back-to-back 3-pointers. I guarantee no one had that combination on their bingo board tonight. Yeah, that's what happened. And something tells me if you're a Spurs fan, you are just bitter, kicking yourself because those are 2 games you're probably thinking that you had, but all that matters is that final score. And when you look at that final score, it shows the Warriors coming away with a 109-108 win. Stephen Curry hitting a pair of free throws with just seconds remaining. The Spurs inexplicably giving the ball to De'Aaron Fox instead of Victor Wembanyama to take the game-winning shot for them. It does not go because De'Aaron Fox just is not a good shooter. I've always said that, and I believe that wholeheartedly. I know he's an insane talent, but an outside shot is not exactly something I'm thinking of when when there's an association game being played with De'Aaron Fox. Man, oh man, this was a wild one, and there's a lot to break down, and let's do it. Happy Friday night. I mean, is there a better way to start the weekend than that? OMG, it's Manny. Great to hear from you, dropping $1.99. Now you the man. All of you are the man. Let's have some fun tonight. This is a Warriors party. Let's get into it. We are powered by FanDuel. Let's go. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the show. My name is Cyrus Saatsaz. You can follow me on Threads and Instagram at DogWild, the program on social media at Golden Days Pod. And the moment we see the professor, we'll bring him on the show. Tonight's episode, like all episodes, brought to you by FanDuel, the official sports book of Golden Days and the Believe Network. And we'll start real fast with a check-in to the FanDuel Sportsbook, a terrific website that I am routinely on. The website, more specifically, sportsbook.fanduel.com, fanduel.com, the main website for the top sports gambling institution in today's world. And while I highly doubt the line for Sunday's Warriors Pelicans game will be available, it is not. What I'm riveted with when it comes to the sports book and the Warriors is that wins total, because it's been fluctuating all season. I think it started at 46.5 way back in the offseason. It's gone as high as 51.5. And you can't bet on it again. That is insane. The OU on wins currently not available. I don't think even the bookies themselves have a decent idea in terms of what to expect from the Golden State Warriors. If you think the Warriors, who improved to 8-6 after tonight's win over San Antonio, again, their second straight victory over the Spurs, a team that they match up borderline perfectly with, a team who they clearly have a number of, if that makes sense grammatically. Yeah, they own them, plain and simple. And the Spurs, what I don't understand from their perspective is why you'd think small ball is going to work against the kings of small ball. Udonis Haslem, I thought, had fantastic analysis at halftime pertaining to what was going right and wrong. And they actually even included this graphic I can show you folks, because I took a screen grab of it. highlighting what the Spurs were doing that was utterly ineffectual. And I'll try to describe this for the podcast audience as folks in YouTube can see this shot chart. This was from the first half. And Victor Wembanyama was 1 of 4 from the right side of the court beyond the three-point line. So he had 5 3-point attempts in the first half total, made 1 3-point attempt on the left side of the court, was 1 of 4 on the right side of the court. He was also a perfect 2 of 2 from mid-range shots on the left side of the court, but he only had 1 field goal attempt near the rim. And a lot of that you can attribute to Draymond Green, whose defense has been exemplary. There was a hilarious moment in this game tonight where Dre and Wemby were talking shit back and forth. This was a raucous affair. I guarantee Spurs fans, not guarantee, but I'm confident Spurs fans who leave this game tonight, they're going to be bitter because their team just lost 2 straight. But I think they're also going to leave in wonderment and awe because of what they witnessed. Wardell, Steph, and Curry. And real quick, just to finish up on the FanDuel tip, because I'm curious to know what the odds are if you want to bet on the Warriors to win the whole damn thing. The last time I saw this, the Warriors were plus 1,800. They're now plus 1,900. If you want to lay your money down on the Warriors winning the whole thing, courtesy of FanDuel, the official sports book of Golden Days and Believe. But again, this shot chart just goes to show that Wembanyama is either afraid to attack the paint, and or he's not comfortable there. And maybe Draymond Green is the direct result of that. And then surrounding Wemby on this Spurs team, and then we're going to get to our FanDuel player of the game, which is obviously Stephen Curry again. But like, if you're the Spurs, what are you thinking trying to match small ball with small ball against a team who is clearly the epitome of elite in that category? Like no one is doing small ball better than the Golden State Warriors. And so the Spurs for 2 straight games try to match it with these 3-4 guard line. Like when another team has 3 or 4 guards out there, I was about to say something that in hindsight is crude, is slightly sexual in nature. I won't go down that road in terms of humor with Steve Kerr. But let's just say Steve Kerr is wetting the beak when he sees another team have 3 or 4 guards out there, and those guards more specifically are Vassell, Stephen Castle, De'Aaron Fox, and Harrison Barnes, former Golden State Warriors swingman, wing 3, small ball 4, is now the Spurs small ball 4. And if Harrison Barnes is your 4, again, Steve Kerr is drooling over that. If you're gonna give Steve Kerr an excuse to match your lineups with Podziemski and GP2 and whoever that third guard is, whether it's Moody, whether it's Buddy Hield, who thankfully, side note, had his minutes drastically reduced tonight. That was a good sign. Will Richard, who I wish in hindsight we saw more of. I don't think this would have been as close of a game as it was if Will Richard was getting more than a collective total of 15 minutes and 55 seconds tonight. Should have played at least 10 more minutes than that. You're going to get the Steve Kerr apologist defending Kerr's decision to play his diminutive lineup again because they won tonight, right? They never think big picture. But my pushback to that is this should not have been a close game to begin with. The Warriors could have and should have won this game by 10, 15, maybe even more if we didn't see these huge minutes tonight, again, from Podziemski, who, with the exception of the late game heroics, was anemic offensively. A GP2, who in these 2 games has looked absolutely fantastic. And those late threes were potentially a difference maker, and not to mention Podziemski adding a 3 in there as well. Those 9 points just wiped away a Spurs. I think the Spurs were leading by 10 or 11. Let me get out the box score here real fast to break down how that went at the very end. So again, the Spurs just playing into the Warriors' hands, whether that's a coaching malfeasance because of inexperience, whether it was arrogance and thinking that, hey, we got Wemby like that, so we're going to play that, we're going to win the small ball matchup because our 5th guy, who's a big, is the big of bigs. But again, on the other side of the coin is Draymond Green, and you have yet another team rolling the dice against the Golden State Warriors, and they made you pay. But Stephen Curry, the absolute hero of this game tonight. Let me stop sharing the screen. I'm sorry. And we're gonna go over Steph's stats in just a second. Again, the professor Armando Lara, as soon as he is available, he's gonna join us. So we'll get his perspective as well. But in that fourth quarter, before GP2 and Podziemski and GP2 again hit back-to-back 3-pointers, which single-handedly saved this game. Because the Warriors were trailing when GP2 hit that first three. The Warriors were trailing 100-92. So 8-point lead before that 3-point flurry starts. And the Spurs did look like they had this thing wrapped up until, again, that flurry. And then Steph added his finishing touches on an unbelievable night. And KKS in the chat saying interested to hear what Jimmy Butler has to say about this game. Absolutely. We'll play all the sound tonight on top of everything else. But Wardell, Steph, I mean, we are blessed with his presence. We're just lucky to be alive when he is. I don't know how else to put it in terms of just his greatness and what that means for all of us. If you're a basketball fan, I mean, if you don't like hoops, you're probably hearing this going, what the, huh? Stephen Curry for the second straight night, your FanDuel player of the game. And I'll read the box score to you right now. 49 points, including those 2 game-winning free throws. Those free throws were put up. More specifically, Steph got fouled with 6.4 seconds. And in case you missed the game and did not follow what happened at the end, Jimmy Butler made a very difficult layup with 56.6 seconds left off it from a beautiful dish by Draymond Green. Score is 108-107. Then De'Aaron Fox puts up. So De'Aaron Fox took the last 2 shots for the Spurs. And if you're going to summarize a very complicated game with lead changes, with all sorts of variables, playing factors, something tells me you got to start, if you're on the Spurs perspective, with why the F. When I say F, I mean followed by a UCK. Why the F did De'Aaron Fox take our final 2 shots when Victor Wembanyama is on our team? Yet that's what happened. De'Aaron Fox missed a 17-footer with 12.4 seconds left. Steph gets the ball. I mean, he didn't rebound the ball. Podziemski got the board, gives it to Steph, and they play on. Steve Kerr does not call a timeout because why would you? When Steph's on an absolute heater like this tonight, and he really was. Stephen Curry was just fantastic. Just an unbelievable night for him, start to finish. And then Steph just attacks the paint and gets fouled. It was an obvious foul because he had his defender beat. Goes to the free throw line. He's making 94% plus of his free throws this season, easily the league leader. He was 15 of 16 from the free throw line. Last game, he made those 2 tonight to finish from the charity stripe, a perfect 8 of 8. So that's 23 of 24 from the free throw line these last 2 games. Wardell, 49 points. Side note, Steph, during pregame, was wearing Kobe Bryant's old school signature line of sneakers in warm-ups. In case you haven't been following the news, I apologize, got a hair in my mouth. The news broke while Rick Barry and I were doing a show yesterday. Fun show, by the way, that does not date itself if you want to go back and watch it. Again, we were talking about the fact that Under Armour and Steph are done. And even though like Steph has one more shoe coming out, even though the deal technically doesn't expire, I think, until sometime early next year, look, I mean, there's no repercussions for Steph messing around anymore. That deal is going to expire. Steph is going to go to another shoemaker. My guess would be Nike. He was wearing Nikes tonight during pregame warmups. And it led a lot of people to wonder, intrigued with what he's going to wear in game. I thought that that's what he was going to stick with, but then he shifted back to his typical sneakers once the game started. But Stephen Curry again, this stat line, an unbelievable game. 49 points. He was 9 of 17 from the free throw line. 16 of 26 from the field, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 3 turnovers. Draymond had 4 in that category. The Warriors had 15 total in this game. For a frenetic pace like that, not a bad number. Not bad. And the type of plays that Steph and Dre make that cost turnovers, meaning trying to be fancier than they should be, trying to just having fun out there, that sometimes results in a costly possession. Tonight, the flair was effective. Like you had Draymond doing between the leg passes, behind the back passes, that for the most part were connecting. They were looking really good out there. Anyway, Steph, that's the box score. I'll give it to you one more time. 49 points, 16 of 26 from the field, 9 of 17 from deep, a perfect 8 of 8 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, a +9 in net rating. And Stephen Curry now tied with Michael Jordan for the most 40-point games for a player age 30 or higher. Steph now has 44 of those, equaling Michael Jordan. LeBron fans out there, I guarantee the spinsters that they are, I guess everyone out there in this day and age is a spinster with their own agenda being the key word. Side note, we did learn before tonight's game that Jonathan Kuminga, who was DNP tonight with knee soreness, was not the target of Draymond Green's post-game ire following the OKC game, where he brought up agendas and called out certain players as not having a team focus, clarifying on his podcast that he was not referencing Jonathan Kuminga. So all the dipshits out there that immediately assumed, and in case you're unfamiliar with this concept, assumptions are illogical. I had a terrible boss in my days at KNBR, and the only good I ever got out of the 2+ years I worked for this piece of shit was a piece of advice he gave me, which was don't assume anything. Sound advice, sage. But me in my 20s needed that reminder, and I've lived with that creed since. Don't assume shit. Assumptions don't mean a thing. And you had a lot of people immediately assuming that Jonathan Kuminga was the target. We already clarified that Jimmy Butler was not talking about JK and Draymond Green. And we'll play that clip in a little bit, singing effusive praise for his teammate, again, who was DNP'd, who was missed tonight, with the exception of the very ending because they won. But again, even if look, I think, in my opinion, Will Richard getting extra minutes would have taken care of this game sooner. There's a lot to break down with the minutes. Brandon Podziemski, I don't know how his 30 minutes tonight, more specifically 29 minutes, 56 seconds, is defensible. But again, they won. So, what are you going to do? And there you have it, your Golden State Warriors. Armando, where the hell are you, buddy? I don't even see a text from him or nothing. Oh, well, if we go solo tonight, we go solo tonight here on Golden Days. Some other box scores to read to you, and then I'll post the link. We'll get some of you on if you're interested. We'll play some sound if that comes down. I want to give a shout out to Amazon Prime for fantastic coverage. It was good to hear Kevin Harlan calling a Golden State Warriors game. He is elite as a play-by-play broadcaster covering the NBA. I'd say top 3 overall. And then his broadcast partner, real quick shout out to him, Brent Barry. I gotta try and get him on the show. I've never had him on the program. And Brent, side note, in case you ever wonder to yourself, if you're a relatively new Golden Dazer, if you've never heard my opinions on who should someday succeed Steve Kerr, top of my list is the individual who is the color commentator tonight, Brent Barry. It was really good to hear him again. It was great to hear his analysis. I hope if you watched that game and listened to the broadcast, you got a glimpse of his insights and why I would absolutely be thrilled if Brent Barry became someday the head coach of the Golden State Warriors. He's an awesome dude, knows his shit, and it was fun to see him covering the game tonight. So kudos to Amazon Prime for, again, a terrific job covering the broadcast. They're doing good. I want to give a nice 2 thumbs up for Amazon Prime. so far. I like their in studio panel as well. Blake Griffin is a natural, in my opinion, as someone transitioning from the game to being a personality. Dirk Nowitzki, it's fun to have him on that panel as well. And then of course you have Udonis Haslem, who I mentioned earlier, providing the insights and the coverage about that first half that Victor Wembanyama did not play well in, and he did not take advantage of the size. Oh, there's the professor. Let's bring him on. Armando Lara. You could follow him on threads at Mando_man10. Again, he hosts a podcast called Sprewell Was Right. The link to that is in our YouTube description. Maybe not at this exact, no, I think even at this exact moment. Yeah, it is. So click on it there if you want to subscribe and follow it. Armando, great to see you, brother. I'm guessing you were delayed slightly because that was pandemonium anywhere you're watching this. If it was a watch party, if you're alone, you're screaming at the top of your lungs. You might have neighbors upset at you. That was a game, brother. Good to see you and your immediate reaction.
Yeah, good to see you, man. Great game. Great game. Just so fun to watch the legends do their thing, man. So freaking fun. Like, man, this is why we watch the Warriors, just to like see those two guys just get it in, man. It's just historic performances. I love it.
It was. It was. And I'm sure we're going to have a lot of stats coming down as we do this show tonight. But, well, I mean, give us some takeaways, man. I before you got on, I talked a lot about Steph. That's it. I think that's the extent. I talked a little bit about the fact that the Spurs, in a lot of ways, killed themselves. I mean, the Warriors needed another heavy minute night from Stephen Curry. I didn't mention how much he played, 36 minutes and 3 seconds. Those are the type of minutes we were accustomed to early in his career when he used to play those heavy first and third quarters and then would come in about the 6 minute mark in the second and fourth quarters. Tonight, an extended first quarter run for him. I remember him being in there late in the first quarter, and I have that exact figure.
He played the whole third quarter.
And he played, yeah, exactly. But the first quarter, there was some grumblings from people because he started really feeling it and getting into a zone, and then Kerr pulled him. And I had to tell a couple people who were like hitting my phone up, going, "Dude, what was that about? Like, why is Kerr pulling Steph right as he's starting to just really get into a rhythm?" Steph came out of this game in the first quarter at the 3:50 mark. So he played about nearly 8 minutes in the first quarter. As you mentioned, he played the whole third quarter. This was an old school rotation from him. Steve Kerr sending a very clear message that these games are important. These wins early are I'm guessing, vital for carrying momentum, especially through this road trip, which incredibly, I never would have imagined, as I just lost. I don't know where Armando went. We'll see him again in a second. I never imagined the Warriors at any point of this road trip would have a winning record. Yet as of right now, they are 2-1, and we welcome Armando Lara back. What happened there? I don't know what happened there, but who cares? What were your immediate impression of Steph, man? Like, and the usage, because again, 36 for a 37-year-old Stephen Curry. We were watching him play 40 plus minutes in the postseason last year, and that directly led to the popped hammy. We don't want to see that again. So it's a fine balancing act. Well, what's your reaction to Steph's usage tonight?
So before I get into this game, the last two games are total red flags, and
big time.
We are on, not only is a red flag, but it's Steph and Draymond are on Celebrini red line alert status number 1. I want to take a moment here to praise something I saw. Like, man, I know you asked about Curry. Yeah, because it was 1-on-5, man. Like, Curry was just like, he scored 49 points in a low scoring game. Like, that's
crazy. You're right.
It was like Curry plus a few Jimmy Grifter free throws. But I want to talk about somebody else tonight, and it just blows me away, and that's Draymond Green.
What about him? Because his defense was exemplary. Do not look at the box score to judge him.
Draymond, I talked about they had a Steph legend game. These last two games were Draymond Green legend games. Like, he
good call.
He really played. I mean, it's game 7 playoff mode on the defensive end for Draymond. Like it's the God mode that I always talk about. Draymond is the playoff God. And it's like when you watch, it's like seeing the Matrix, like literally dodging bullets, guarding 2 guys in space, like blocking Wemby. Wemby's beat up, man. He got every chance Draymond got. He was in his body. And I'll tell you this right now, chat. This game for Draymond, it's not just about this season. Draymond might have just actually earned another contract in this league as a Wemby stopper. That's how amazing this performance was.
Yeah.
Like last week we were talking about, does Draymond have value as a trade if this thing goes bad? And to be honest, like if the higher Wemby gets in this league, based on these 2 games, that is going to get Draymond another contract at a higher level than would have otherwise been. I've seen that in this league where guys get reps as stopping. Al Horford actually got a couple contracts way too more than he should have deserved as an Embiid stopper. As a Giannis stopper. And that's a real thing. So I didn't just make that up. And Draymond tonight, it's like seeing the Matrix, man. And
well, and there was, and I think the moment in this game which symbolized the whole 48 minutes was that one possession where at the end of it, Dre and Wemby start barking at each other, and then one of the Spurs players, let me see if I can, I remember it from memory. If I can look up it wasn't Sohan, was it Champagne? I can't remember who it was. Somebody came in there and was like putting his hands on Dre, and I thought it was going to escalate at that point. You don't put hands on Dre. Like he's never going to be okay with that. And again, for a split second, just because Wemby's the guy in San Antonio. So if you're going to bark at him, you're going to immediately get the whole team getting his back. But those 2 talking shit. And then I think the block, there was an iconic Draymond Green block on Wemby. And I think it happened right after that. Correct me if I'm wrong. It might have been shortly before, but it was insane. You're absolutely right. I mean, Draymond Green was
Wemby got his points, in the first game, and nothing easy, baby. I always talk about the way we watch defense is based on how much energy the offensive players expending to get a shot off. Like they might miss a shot, but it was easy. They didn't have to work that hard to get it off. But all of those shots that Wemby took across the 2 games were don't be surprised if Wemby's not on the injury report in the next week. Like that I know people hate me when I talk about injuries are predictable, but it is.
Do they?
I'm not making that up. Like that's the probability on injuries, and he really got into him, and what you said about getting into it verbally with the Spurs, like Draymond was the heartbeat. He was the playoff leader, and I'm gonna talk later tonight about that's not sustainable, but that it's the playoff mode that you need, and it was crazy. Steph screaming at the end of the game, I was like, damn, did y'all win the? What did you guys win? But it was pretty. I was happy to see them have that moment, and they really dug deep. I don't know where you want to take it now, side, but the comments that Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler made after the Thunder game, I'd like to talk about that.
We will, because I brought that up at the very beginning. We'll touch on that later in the show. We don't have to get into it super early. Mainly, and the main reason I'm open to touching the subject again is because of Draymond's comments on his podcast. Yes, he made it clear that is not where he was going, and it's funny because Draymond is very active on Threads. For you non-Threads folks out there, in case you haven't noticed, most players, pretty much I'd say 99% of NBA players not named Kevin Durant are not on Twitter anymore, right? It's just a toxic cesspool. Most of them are, but Dre is very active on Threads. Like his replies will pop up in my feed. I see all of it, and I think he's seeing some of the insanely illogical, toxic rhetoric that's being espoused about JK, and it's accurate. A lot of it's slander, just nasty shit, man. And and Dre's seeing that, and I'm guessing that is part of the impetus for him even going out publicly talking about that. Yeah, we'll touch on that in a little bit. By the way, Stephen Curry, yeah.
The chat says our streams are very choppy.
Yeah, I'm gonna complain to the virtual studio, folks. This is like the third time in 3 weeks this has happened, and I think it's correlating with our virtual studio do some upgrades because I've gotten a lot of notifications from them lately about all these changes, and but I'm also going to hit them up and let them know this is now 3 times in 3 weeks. Folks, just write it out. It will get better. That's what I have. Server with this more specifically with our virtual studio and the server that hosts it, because the podcast stream sounds okay when I download it after the fact. You seem okay to me right now. So it's something with this feed, and please forgive us. If this starts becoming a regular thing, might be time to look elsewhere. But for now, just roll with this, please. Sorry about that again. I don't know why the virtual studio is doing that, but the fact that it's now a third time in a short time frame leads me to want to complain formally. I've not done that yet, so I will. But I want to share this screen really quickly here, or show this graphic rather. This is from Automatic NBA on Twitter, saying Stephen Curry is now the oldest player in NBA history with back-to-back games of 45 points now over the last 2 games. Is that right, or is it? It's 95 points. Yeah, that's accurate. Between the 2 San Antonio games. How is if you're San Antonio, how is the morale there? Like how do you think they're feeling? Because these are both. What's up?
Yeah, I want to talk about San Antonio.
Yeah, because I guarantee they're pissed. They're bitter. These are games that in their minds, undoubtedly they're thinking they could have and should have won these games. What's your perspective from them? Because what I've been saying, Armando, for about 3 days now, and I brought up Udonis Haslam echoing these same sentiments in the halftime analysis, that the Spurs all ball with the Warriors. That is like you're playing right into their hands. All you're doing is giving Steve Kerr dollar signs in his pupils, because in Steve Kerr's mind, he now has a 100% valid excuse to go with the 4-guard lineups. Like all these pods minutes, all these GP2 minutes, and again, the Will Richard minutes being as limited as they are, even though he's starting, it's like, dude, just leave him out there. Like Will Richard is not hurting the team. Will Richard is an awesome basketball player. And he only played 15 minutes, 55 seconds tonight. And again, this is Steve Kerr's rotations, but I thought I didn't understand the strategy. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I want to talk about Will Richards. But the Spurs game 1, the Spurs didn't even break a sweat. They were chilling. We barely snuck that out with some legend games. But yeah, their issue is they're still integrating Fox. I think that was the second game back, and Fox does not look good.
I think but close.
Third, yeah, it looks like somebody needs to stretch out that groin. Looks like a little Frankenstein-y. But I think their issue is they're a new contending team, and they don't exactly know how to win clutch games in playoff situations, and that was a playoff situation. So with playoff intensity, and the Warriors do to some degree, and
they're still a dynasty. Of course they do. Yeah.
Well, no, they've been a loser clutch team the last 3 years.
That's true too.
That is true. So the thing is, the Spurs have to build that skill. They're a very young team, and they don't exactly know what they're doing with Fox, he was a huge problem in game one, and he cost him a bit here in game two. So if I'm a Spurs fan, I'm feeling very positive because like I don't really think they had much going on, and they were right there, right in it. So they just survived. They almost took almost won in a legend Draymond Green game in a 49-point game from Steph Curry. So, I think it portends well if I'm a Spurs fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. And again, apologies for our Wi-Fi. It's not a Wi-Fi issue. It's the host behind this virtual studio, like that graphic right there that says Armando Lara Sprewell was right. Underneath that, if I hide that, the FanDuel, all that stuff, me, this virtual studio that you see, the company now, and they're all post-game shows, so maybe it's like a high traffic thing that they're having difficulties managing. I don't know, but I am going to complain because it ain't cheap, and I don't appreciate it, especially in this economy, money not being well spent. But it has resolved itself previously, so just sit tight and hopefully it'll fix itself. But the huge reason why I know I can watch the Prime Video or the NBA on Prime, whatever it's called, the post-game show, and that stream is entirely from my Wi-Fi and it's perfect. I can watch it right now crystal clear in 1080. So and again, Armando, you are perfect right now to me. So if it was a Wi-Fi issue, you'd be glitchy. Like I noticed. Trust me, just it'll be fine in just a second. And I do sincerely apologize for not delivering. You're right. It's a lot of it's inexperience. I think a lot of it too. They were missing Dylan Harper. Like the Spurs' strong start to the season, I think, did coincide with the number 2 pick in the draft, just so far living up to the billing. Dylan Harper is a baller, but then he got a strained calf, and he's out a few weeks. And Harper's like 6'5", 6'6". So I mean, 6'5", 6'6" to the Warriors. I mean, that's like a 6'8", 6'9" power forward, almost like anyone else. If they had to deal with him, as opposed to like De'Aaron Fox, Vassell, but the Spurs just played right into the Warriors' hands. It's crazy. Like if I'm a Spurs fan, I'm bitter at the coaching staff, unless the roster just doesn't have any depth. But what I can tell you for certain, if you're the Spurs, Keldon Johnson off the bench ain't it as your backup to Harrison Barnes. Like that ain't gonna do shit. Luke Cornett. Sorry, like he's does not give you an advantage over Quinn Post. Who, side note, Quinn Post was fantastic and is very limited minutes. That was a good 7 minutes and change. He looked like a player who just wasn't thinking. Like every decision, every move, and I don't know if that correlated with the pace of the game. It was very frenetic on both sides. But Post, again, I don't know if the box score is going to reflect much. I remember one 3-pointer that he hit, and again, he just instinctual. There was no thought. The 3 went down just like how GP2s and Podziemski's went down in the fourth quarter. Like just no thought, just a split second, almost like a reflex. Quinn Post, 1 of 3 from the field. That one field goal again at 3. He was 1 of 2. That block, I remember, was actually a good one. 3 points for him, but a good short stint for Quinn Post. And Buddy Hield, 14 minutes, 15 seconds in this game. I'm curious to know if he played at all in the second half, because I don't remember him getting much second half minutes. But what were your thoughts on the rotations tonight? Any players who played more than they should have? Can this be sustainable? That is my endless concern. Is this style of play that has resulted in these wins for the Warriors, and they feel good. They're awesome. And we're bubbling. It's Friday night. We're in a celebratory mood, even though it is a regular season win on November 14th. I don't think it's sustainable, though. You're not going to be able to do this night in, night out, unless you want to go on the injury report. But Buddy Hield in this game, I'm just curious if all of his minutes were in the first or second half. He played 4 minutes, 29 seconds in the second half. So in the first half of this game is where the majority of his minutes came from. Buddy played 9 minutes, 49 seconds, 9 minutes, 46 seconds, I'm sorry, in the first half. And Buddy Hield, 0 points tonight. I did have 4 rebounds, but that 3-point shot is still not falling. Actually, he had no 3-point attempts tonight. He just had 1 shot attempt overall. I don't get those minutes. Like Buddy Hield's minutes should go to Will Richard. I don't know. What are your thoughts on their
Yeah, so man, Will Richards is really impressive. And a lot of times in the NBA, you kind of get caught in the hierarchy of the who's making the money. And I was alerting people to this in the preseason, but Will Richards, when he plays small forward, is doing him a disservice. But when he's at shooting guard, and next to Moses Moody, it's okay that it's 3 guards because those two have wingspan. That's what I like about Will Richards at shooting guard. He has positional size, and he is looking to get that mother effort in the bucket, like just launching threes. He's not like nowhere to nowhere, pivot. You guys know who I'm talking about. And he actually plays sneaky good defense at the shooting guard. And of course, at small forward, it's not good, but at that stage, it's really good. And so I would love to see him get more minutes. The only thing is with rookies, sometimes they don't have the legs to play that much, so that could be a factor. That is something that I can't really speak to. The coach should know that. I don't know if he does, but that's something you would know if you were actually paying attention to your players. But Will Richards, when Pods came in the first quarter, they actually had momentum going on, and it was completely killed by that substitution. So I and in the fourth, it's not really that complicated. They just brought Steph in with 8 minutes left. They just played him more.
Yeah, and again, 36 minutes on the night, which is not the norm. Yeah. That's a good 5-6 above his average on the year.
Yeah. And it's really good when they have Moses Moody and Will Richards in the game because they're looking to get it in. I don't know what the deal is with Buddy. I actually think they're probably trying to get off him. Maybe that's affecting his shooting. There's probably an undercurrent. They know this is the trade piece. This is the $10 million. He's competing really effing hard on defense, and it's not really making a difference. He ain't that good. And I kind of suspect that's because they know one foot's out the door with this. Because they got Melton coming and they got Richards coming, and they, Pods is there. So kind of Buddy is the odd man out. So sometimes when that happens, your play can actually get worse because you kind of see the writing on the wall. Yeah. And he doesn't hit shots like the open shots that are created by the offense, right? It's kind of like Pods, like he misses the open shot, but he makes the grenade step back against a shot clock shot. I think there'll be some consolidation around this, but to the big point, is this sustainable? Home in a body bag program 4.0. It's beautiful to see, and I'm glad I'm a Warriors fan because I want to see the legends go out playing as hard as they can. I'm glad they're still invested enough. There's still reasons for them to play this hard occasionally. The reason I had brought up those Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler comments because everybody in social media was assuming that oh no, they can't even hear what I'm saying.
Well, kind of. It's just keep going. It's getting the last 2 times this happened, it resolved itself. Just keep rolling. That's there's nothing we can do. Restarting. Keep going. The good news is the podcast recording will be clean. So your words are not wasted in case people can't catch it clearly.
Okay. Well, I'll just repeat it later.
No, even Desi's in our chat saying that he can hear it now. It's not unlistenable. I've gone back to the other 2 shows where this happened. It's just glitchy. It's for control right now. I'm gonna raise a shitstorm with the company again that handles the virtual studio we use, because the issue is with them, and the fact that this is the third time happening in like 3 weeks is not cool. It's not cool at all. But
yeah, so those comments, everybody, all the stupid media and the aggregators thought they were talking about Jonathan Kuminga. They were not talking about Jonathan Kuminga.
Yes, and Armando, I went on a whole riff at the start of the show about assumptions and how people just don't represent reality. I mean, literally, the definition of the word is just thinking. Just what's the proper definition of an assumption? It's just a jump into a conclusion without knowing the facts, right? Based off probabilities, I guess. It's not reality. Like, just folks, don't assume shit. It's one of the biggest logical fallacies, and such a rudimentary logical fallacy. Yet it's everywhere.
Well, I mean, I don't really necessarily have facts. Like, I'm not in Draymond Green's head, but I'm not effing. The people they were talking about were themselves. Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler were talking about the vets, and basically, this is the whole story. And we talked about this on the Sprewell Was Right YouTube account. Like, we did a whole rant. We just posted a video this morning. We watched the Spurs game. We did a little play-by-play. The crop is totally effed up, so we have to figure out how to do that correctly. But I just posted the parts where we talked about generally what's going on. We'll get our act together. But like, they know that the last 30 games of last year when Jimmy came, they went playoff mode. They went game 7 playoff mode every night. The vets did. Steph, Draymond, and Jimmy. And people hate on me when I say that. And literally, Draymond Green and Steve Kerr have said that on record, that they had to go playoff mode for the last 30 games of the season. And people hate on me last year.
Correct. And against very weak opposition. That's also very important to note, because people love going back in reference especially to the 5-man lineup that includes Podziemski, Moody, and the core 3 of Steph, Dre, and Jimmy as evidence that could work. That can win you a championship. That will not win you a championship. That 23-7 record largely was against very meager competition. Judge your team based off good Hornets and the Nets and shit like that. Not to mention, like you're saying, and I totally follow your point here, is playoff intensity in the regular season drains the shit out of you. You're sapping energy that you need in April, May, June, and that's the tax you're paying.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And I saw their comments. He was saying, and he literally, Draymond referenced the last 30 games. He said the last 30 games we had no agendas. We were just playing to win, and basically saying the vets need to get their act together to get into playoff year right now in November before the season's lost. That we're the ones that are not focused. Jimmy Butler scoring 12 points a game, cell phone commercials in the middle of a game, like. Talk about, like, you kind of need to be focused to win, like right now, playoff mode, if we're not going to fall out of the effing picture. And
wait, hold on a second. You just said they were in the commercial you're referring to, which is hilarious. If you haven't seen it, it's Steph and Jimmy Butler. Is it a new cell phone? Is that what they were pimping?
Baby.
It's like a new Android device. There you go. And you're telling me they recorded that during a game?
Not during the game.
Oh, you're exaggerating. Yeah. Okay. I was like, if you're serious,
just like around, and that's what Draymond was getting at. Like, this team has committed $53 million to Jimmy. Steph, is he the highest paid player in the league?
Yes, or at least he was. I think Devin Booker is going to surpass him next year. I think.
Obviously, you're not going to blame the lowest paid players on the team for losing. Like, you kind of got to bring it. So, it was so obvious he was trying to hype the vets up. They were just not locked in. And they were so locked in the last 2 games. Like, we had 2 Steph legend games, 2 Draymond. legend Draymond games, and they can do that on any given night. They can win a game.
Yeah,
on any given night they can win a game. That's what it is. And we're in the Western Conference Gauntlet, so I do think it's not just going to be Wemby on the injury report. There's going to be other guys on our team on the injury report coming up, and yeah, that's where I'm at with this.
Yeah, I love it. Let's hear from Steph. There's a lot of sound following tonight's game. But Armando praising it. I think they're awesome. A fantastic partner.
Dude, I
Peacock.
love that
Again, I'm gonna have to see it again because my first experience with Peacock, I was not impressed. I thought it was utter shit. Prime night and day. They're exemplary. It's just chef's kiss. Bravo. Your thoughts,
dude? Are they on a different angle, looking at the game, than NBC Sports?
When you say angle, do you mean like the camera that's shooting the game, or
yeah? Doesn't it seem higher to you, like at a steeper angle?
Maybe. I mean, I didn't notice too much, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the chat can tell us. For whatever reason, I really enjoy the view that Amazon provides. Like, it just seems, I don't know, it just feels better than what we get with stupid Fitz and Buki. But I really games are nice.
Yeah. Let's hear from Steph. And
one more thing
I wanted
to say.
Again,
one more thing I wanted to say about the Amazon game. Like, dude,
please,
the general public is really feeling the NBA Cup stuff. Like, if you go out in the Bay Area, like, people, like stupid 49er fans that like pretend to watch the Warriors, like, are literally like tuning in to the NBA Cup like it's a thing. Like, I'll literally be like walking around and be like, "Oh, you're gonna watch the NBA Cup tonight?" They better bring it. Like, it's actually innovation. Like, obviously, us in the chat here, we watch every game, and it's, for us, it seems like a distraction. Like, you're spending so much energy on just one regular season game, but like, actually, for the business of the league, I'm starting to become like a believer, because the general pretend fan will tune in.
Yeah.
And this game, like, they're going to keep tuning in with games like this, for sure.
That's it's the gimmicky marketing is working. This, at least in soccer, they love their in-season tournaments, and that was the inspiration for this. Happy Puppy is asking, how many assists did the team have tonight? Great question. The Warriors finished tonight. It was a low number, just 18 assists to 28 for the San Antonio Spurs. Again, like, if you're a Spurs fan, and I'm guessing the organization as a whole feels the same way, you are kicking yourself. I really think this was a game that they should have, that this was stolen from them. And I heard Brent Barry say that at the end as well. Like kudos to Steph. This is Steph.
Dude,
this is what Steph does.
The Spurs, how many turnovers did the Spurs have? Like 20 something? Like,
correct, yeah, 21 turnovers, which resulted in 25 Warriors points. But the Warriors themselves had 15 turnovers that resulted in 23 points. So the Warriors only got a 2-point advantage from points off turnovers.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just a huge red flag if I'm a Warriors fan. Like, the Spurs had 20-something turnovers, and we had a
barely
49-point game from Steph, and Draymond Green had to freaking take the, which pill is to go in the Matrix? The blue pill? I can't remember, but
I can't remember either.
Yeah, like, and it was a 1-point game or whatever. So it's a little concerning, because a team has that many turnovers shouldn't be a close game. And I think the Spurs will get their act together. They just don't really have a system for clutch games yet.
Yeah, and like you said, on a night like this, I don't know if they just don't have the personnel, but everything with them, now that we've seen them for 2 whole games, I mean, every one of us watched the Warriors closely. We now have a very good taste of the Spurs, and my immediate analysis of them, well, two primary things I took away. One is they look exactly like the Warriors, And if you're playing the Warriors and you resemble them, that's not a good thing from the opposition's perspective. Like, they have mastered this. And it's a huge reason why I thought the Warriors, at least until the OKC game, I thought they matched up well against OKC too, for similar reasons. Like, the OKC Thunder don't typically blow you out in terms of physical domination. They beat you largely with ball movement, speed, but that was last year. Now Chet Holmgren actually looks like a way better player than a year ago. And Isaiah Hartenstein, the Warriors, I don't see what they have an answer to for him in this situation. The Thunder this year look frightening. I don't know. I'm curious to see how the Warriors adjust next time they play. They might, to be honest, as crazy as this sounds, like, the answer to beating the Thunder might be the same strategy as what we saw tonight. Like more of this four-guard bullshit, which again draws the ire of a lot of us. I hate it. I know you despise it. I don't like it, but and maybe OKC, who still sometimes pulls this shit. Maybe that's the best way to counter it, because defensively, when you're facing a small team, and this is how the Warriors can beat it, is you play a zone defense, right? If you're playing a team like where you're small and that's a disadvantage, you can zone up defensively. And unless the other team has outstanding shooting to counterbalance that, because that is the core weakness of the zone, is you're going to have open players. And then it comes down to whether or not they can make their shots. OKC is going to probably still make their, I don't think they have the shooters to burn you. Like, Stephon Castle is not known as an elite three-point shooter yet. Devin Vassell, inconsistent in that department. He was 1 of 4 tonight. De'Aaron Fox, even though tonight he was 4 of 8 from 3, he's never been notoriously known as someone who's like an elite three-point shooter. He's known, at least from my perspective, much more as a slasher, penetrator, a playmaker. So the Spurs just match up incredibly well with Golden State, But now if the Warriors are playing Houston and they try this shit, you're going to get run out of the gym. That's what I think.
I hear what you're saying about the Spurs played small, so that allowed Kerr to go this 4-guard line.
I don't think they have a choice. Like, I'm looking at their roster. They don't have the personnel to do anything otherwise. They also didn't have Dylan Harper. That was the other point, which maybe when the Warriors and Spurs play a third time this season, maybe the Dylan Harper factor will be an advantage for them too, because he's a badass mofo, man. I really like that guy. Sorry to interrupt.
No, I just want to talk about that Thunder game for a minute. I mean, because this is Friday night, and there's been a whole week of games.
Yeah,
I want to comment on, and we were totally embarrassed by that game. The vets were, if I could just get a couple minutes on this side, like, that game really exposed. I'm not even making this shit up. Like, I think Jimmy Butler said, like, it was crazy to see what a real team looks like, or something like that. But like, our offense. I'm not even going to talk about the 3-guard lineups that lead to our bad defense. Our offense,
mean 4-guard lineups?
Yeah, our offense is, it's some of the worst I've ever seen in the history of the league. Like, it's so bad, and we just think it's normal that like we're getting wide open Draymond Green, Pods, Jimmy Butler, or Al Horford chuck shots. Like, it's we play 3 connectors and sometimes a 4th player who's not allowed to shoot together. And the defense, like, it's just, Jonathan could create all he wants, and he draws doubles, and he makes a pass to Pods, who
doesn't do shit.
Is not trying to get it in, so he just dribbles, pump fakes, and passes it to Jimmy Butler, who is also a $53 million connector. And he's like going, and then he passes it back to Kuminga, and now it's the shot clock. Like, I just see, like, we work so effing hard to get basic shots that other teams just dribble up and shoot. One of the things that I noticed about Kuminga, like, this was something I said last week, like, when we need him to ISO on the wing, like, he's just going at his man, and then there's a turnover, and people think that like they can't see outside the context. Like, other teams run more complicated pick and rolls. Like, I know you guys have all heard of the Spain pick and roll. That's like where they send a second screen at the help man. And, that's just the tip of the iceberg on the innovations in pick and roll in this league. Like, there's so much you could design with a wing player and the greatest shooter of all time. And we do not do it. We don't do it. We don't have our in the off season in July, I was talking about everyone's looking at Jonathan Kuminga's off season videos. And what I wanted to see was a video of effing Steve Kerr on the whiteboard trying to come up with a new offense. But it ain't happening. It's terrible, the motion offense. It ain't just bad rotations. It's a terrible system. And we have to work so damn hard. We have to run so many miles for Kaka. And it ain't the small ball offense anymore. It ain't more on ball. It's injury ball. It's injury ball. And I feel so bad for those guys trapped in this stuff, man. Tonight you said they had no assists, so that's why I brought it up. Like
18 total for the Warriors
right
tonight.
Yeah, I wonder why. Because you think Steph Curry was running the effing motion offense? No, I don't think so.
And again,
this is
it was
like,
hero ball. It was hero ball.
This is legend ball, man. Legend ball.
Yeah, this was, and again, this is why we could talk big picture and all sorts of nuance, but after a game like this, we also have to relish it, right? We have to really appreciate just how special and amazing Steph is, because these games do count in the records, and for him to drop again 95 points these last two games, 95 points, 46, then 49. Combined. He's also, I just saw this, I think from the Curry Muse account, saying Stephen Curry, they spelled it Steppy. Steppy Curry joins Michael Jordan as the only players ever to record back-to-back games with 45 or more points at the age of 37 or older. Meaning Jordan did this with the Wizards. Now Steph does this with the Warriors. The only two players ever to score 45 or more in back-to-back games at the age of 37 or older. And Steph has just done that against San Antonio. Also worth noting, I started talking about this. I got distracted. I apologize. A lot of LeBron, because you're likely going to see most national media praising Steph for accomplishing his 44th career 40-point or more game after the age of 30. And that now ties Michael Jordan. Unbelievable accomplishment. But LeBron's fans, who, again, that's just as toxic and irrational, illogical as a good chunk of Dub Nation is, considering the Steve Kerr sycophancy, it still pales in comparison to the LeBron fandom. And what I'm guessing they're bringing up is, well, for 35 or older, right? Because that stat that we keep talking about where Steph has tied Jordan for 44 times he scored 40 or more after the age of 30. If you're counting games over the age of 35 in terms of 40-point or more games, now LeBron's in the picture. And LeBron's the actual leader in that category. LeBron has scored 40 or more points 15 times since the age of 35. Michael Jordan did it 12 times. Stephen Curry tonight has now done it 13 times. So LeBron has 15 career 40-point or more games after the age of 35. Steph is second on that list with 13, and Michael Jordan with 12. And on that note, let's hear from Wardell. This is Stephen Curry on Amazon Prime. This is their post-game coverage. And he's talking. I don't know who that reporter is. I don't know her name. Forgive me for that. Do you know Armando?
No clue.
I have no clue either. But she did a job. And here she is, whoever this person is. Forgive us for not knowing the name. Interviewing Stephen Curry. There you go. And they did. Bravo. Draymond Green, by the way. Armando, I don't know if you've been paying attention to his 3 three-point shooting, and I've been trying to track this exact number down, but he's missed at least 11 straight three-point shots. Tonight, Draymond from 2 nights ago, also in San Antonio, and then in the OKC game, he was one of 3. And I'm trying to track down like if his last 3 that game was made, or what the actual streak is of missed three-pointers. But I could live with less Draymond Green three-point.
Sorry, can I comment on that real quick?
Please, yeah, don't ask, just do it.
Yeah, I mean that's an exact example of what I'm talking about with the fatigue meter. Draymond Green, I wonder why he's missing threes. Do you think it's just because something changed? Well, what changed is that he's playing the Matrix Draymond Green, freaking Neo, like seeing in 10-dimensional chess on defense. Like, do you know the energy level it takes to do that?
Yeah.
He just earned another contract as a Wemby stopper. Like, that is why you're missing threes on the other end. That's why it's not sustainable, because our whole freaking offense is Draymond Green chuck threes. Like, that's the kind of, we play 3 connectors, so that's where the defense is playing us to.
Yeah.
You know, it's all connected. This shit doesn't, like, he's not gonna knock down threes playing in playoff god mode on defense. Like, I'm sorry, it's just not. You know, and I said this last Friday, Draymond Green has no role on offense when Podziemski's on the floor. Like, Draymond Green used to be the trigger man. He's the trigger man. You know, when Pods is dribbling around, like, what is Draymond doing? He's just in the corner. He can't be in the dunker spot. He's not doing dribble handoffs. Like, he's not the point guard on that side either. And we need Draymond as a trigger man. That's why we need to be playing the wing lineup with Moses Moody and Kuminga. And but you know, Draymond, you know, it's really sad to see the whole offense is based on Draymond Green threes, and it's not sustainable with Draymond Green elite defense, which is what we need to play well, and just to be 500. So that's why I see those things as connected.
And I think that's very fair. I still cannot find when in that OKC game. Oh, because I'm looking. Okay, I'm still trying to find when Draymond Green. Draymond. Okay, so he has missed 11 in a row because he made a 3 in that OKC game in the third quarter, and I think that was his last 3-point attempt that game. So he's currently missed 11 straight. He was 1 of 3 in the OKC game. I was trying to figure out how I can say that accurately. So he's missed 11 in a row and counting. Let me stop sharing this. I apologize. Phenomenal game. There again, a lot of sound has come down though. So and that's good news. I love hearing from the players and hearing their thoughts on things, especially after a game like this. Which the Warriors win again. Stephen Curry scoring 49 of the team's 109 points. And one player alone is putting up nearly half your points. Are we still glitchy, by the way? Are people still complaining about that, or have they just accepted the fact that this is going to be a shitty stream? Jesus Christ. I apologize to the folks out there who... I mean, this doesn't help the show. I'm pissed. I'm very pissed about this. I will contact the company directly when I can. It's Friday, right? So they're not going to probably answer anything moving forward. So let's here's another Stephen Curry soundbite. This was him speaking to the Amazon Prime panel. So let's hear from Steph speaking with what's her name? Taylor Brooks. Do I have that name correct? I think. Blake Griffin, Dirk, and Udonis Haslam are the panel, and I think they're doing a pretty good win, and I think he's talking about his teammates more specifically. Here again is our FanDuel player of the game, Stephen Curry.
Everybody's gonna look at my stat line, but you know, BP, Draymond, Jimmy, GP hitting big shots, like. Those are the things, the details of winning basketball that, you know, allow us to be able to celebrate a tough win like that.
Love it. And absolutely right. Steph always just knows what the right things to say. Moving on from Steph, let's play one more soundbite here. real quick.
PR,
But look,
PR
look,
like,
truth is, though, the PR shit, it matters. Like, I remember very vividly dating back to Michael Jordan. Like, that's a huge reason Jordan became a star, is because he was exemplary at the PR shit. He knew exactly what to say, and that stuff resonates in terms of kids, fandom, jersey sales, the pod. Would you agree or no? I don't know. What do you think?
You know, yeah, and it came up this week. I don't know if you guys read the big report about the Mavericks firing Nico Harris. Like, literally the middle of that whole.
I'm kidding. It's Harris.
Literally, the whole middle of that report was like an article about the underqualified PR staff that they hired, and she was like in over her head trying to protect Nico, and like Nico comes out saying like that he planned them getting the draft pick. Like, PR really matters. So like the article was kind of insinuating that like if there was better PR in Mavericks, maybe Nico could have survived this whole thing.
That whole thing's crazy. That whole thing is crazy. Yeah, the Mavericks. Yeah. Anyways, here's head coach Steve Kerr, and he's talking about the fact that this is going to go down, I think, in the annals of NBA history in terms of iconic matchups and moments, largely because like there was one possession specifically, and I'm sure, Armando, you remember this. I'm sure the audience members, if you watch this game tonight, remember this vividly, and that was Stephen Curry putting up a three as Victor Wembanyama is closing down on him defensively. And it was very reminiscent of the Olympics, where if Steph's going to make these threes with Wemby closing down, and Wemby's side note had a block on Dre at the beginning of this game, where Wemby was like at the free throw line. Was that tonight or was that Wednesday? They're starting to muddle a little bit, but I do remember Wembanyama like getting a block on Draymond when he's positioned defensively back at the free throw line. I think that was Wednesday, but Steph figured out how to get the shot over Victor Wembanyama. The matchup was incredible, and let's hear from Kerr discussing in a wild, exciting moment.
You think you're free, he just comes out of nowhere and blocks a shot or gets in the way. That was an incredible basketball game. High-level competition. I thought the Spurs defense was fantastic. They came out, obviously, after the other night when we were flowing and really moving the ball. They bottled us up pretty well, but really proud of our guys for sticking with it.
Were you having Paris flashbacks at the end there?
Actually, I wasn't.
Yeah, right.
But Steph,
Sorry, real quick, Armando. I thought that was one of the reporters there saying that. That was Armando Lara saying that.
That's how I would be if they ever let me into the Warriors to interview this mother effer. I couldn't contain myself. I'd be like, yeah, right, man. Like, dude, he's such a effing liar, man.
Anyways, here's the rest of the career.
When we're running at him in Paris, I gotta get that photo, copy and put it in my house somewhere. But yeah, it's pretty remarkable watching Wemby play, just to see the versatility, the poise, everything. Incredible player.
You played Steph 36 minutes tonight, the entire third. You mentioned you guys were coming in bottled up. How much did it just feel like he was
Yeah, I mean, we ended up with 18 assists, and we were trying to move the ball. I thought the intentions were great. They were, again, super physical. Wemby was everywhere. We just couldn't really get our offside. Him, a few extra minutes, and we didn't plan on playing him the whole third. I tried to take him out with about 2 minutes left, but there was no stoppage in play. And he played the last 8. But you can see the difference, in his rhythm, his conditioning, now after, being out for a week. And I think in some ways that helped his legs, but he needed a couple of games to get the conditioning and the rhythm back. But yeah, that was an incredible performance.
There you we go. There's a Steph, Armando. You're laughing. You're calling him out. Give us your reaction. How do you really feel about Steve Kerr?
We're trying to move the ball. We didn't intend to play Steph Curry that much. Yeah.
Can I say something real fast, Armando?
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off for 1 second. This is one thing, and this is just a personal preference of mine, and I'm sure that the Steve Kerr fans out there will hate hearing this, but I despise when Steve Kerr smiles and exudes happiness following regular season games. Phil Jackson never cracked a smile following a regular season game. I don't remember Greg Popovich ever cracking a smile following a regular season win. I don't remember Pat Riley cracking a smile. Is playful, he's jovial, like he acts like this is all just a big joke sometimes, or that he's just a fan along for the dude. It's like, take your job seriously, man. Like stop pretending like a regular season win is this monumental moment when we're still in November. I don't like that. Like be serious. Like it's to me, it's I don't know. It's a peeve of mine. Sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Steve Kerr got the grandma dentures look.
The dyed hair.
No, but
that's dyed hair, dude. His hair is gray now, and he literally turned it blonde. That's another. So we have a head coach who's insecure about his looks. It's insane.
Okay.
It's okay, but it's you're the head coach of an NBA team, making nearly $20 million. Like be serious, Like act like you're trying to win a championship and not just, celebrating regular season wins. Like this is 2017 Kobe. I don't, it's, or 16, whatever Kobe's last year was. I don't know.
Your point about the regular season stuff, like I think actually hearing you say it kind of makes me, obviously we've been talking about like, are they really trying to win, or is this just the cash in the checks, live out the glory situation? 2015 Kobe. When you kind of say things like that, like red flags, like it just makes me think, like, Draymond's playing for the next contract. He's playing for the podcast career. Jimmy's chilling. Like, they're not really real true believers in this whole thing. So, like, yeah, Steve Kerr does not look very serious about the whole thing.
He doesn't look serious at all. And like you have guys like X-Man in the chat, and X-Man, I don't know if who sometimes is like rational, and then sometimes brings out this Steve Kerr fandom. It's like people ever in a head coaching position having fans. It's this whole thing is madness to me. Like X-Man, did you ever see Bill Belichick crack a smile? Did you ever see Bill Walsh crack a smile outside of winning a championship? Like I just mentioned to you 4 head coaches. Red Auerbach could be a fourth for Mount Rushmore. I don't know if Red Auerbach was cracking smiles. I know he was infamous for the big stogies and stuff like that. But it's like you're acting like leaders to someone that's just acting like it's amateur hour, where you're like he acts like he's a Stephen Curry fanboy. Like get real, man. You're the leader of men. Like, don't act like a regular season win means you want a title, or it's very unbecoming to me, X-Man. And if you disagree, fine, disagree. But what other coaches out there act like this? It's for someone who's supposedly like a Hall of Fame, the actual all-time greats sit there being goofy after regular season wins, or because of their favorite player. Never mind the fact that they rarely, if ever, we're so upfront about having a favorite player to begin with. I mean, Greg Popovich, when he'd crack his jokes about Tim Duncan, he would just get right back to business after that. He wouldn't like make that a whole bit for like 5 minutes. But the Kerr thing is it's unbecoming. It really is. And if you don't agree with that, that's fine.
You're not just making it up. He literally tells the fans it's just a game. Don't take it so seriously. Like he's on record saying that multiple times about the
that he's making $20 million a year in. You're absolutely right. And this is someone who, by the way, if we're going to talk about integrity, you remember when
it ain't nitpicking, chat. I've talked all summer about how he's the only coach in the league that's not trying to innovate. Do you know what Eric Spoelstra did this summer in terms of adapting the offense to the players that he has? Like they took the offense from the Memphis Grizzlies last year and they completely right. Do you think Steve Kerr's in the lab? Least prepared
he's not
in the NBA. Like it's been that way. Like I don't know what you guys are looking at, man. It ain't about the smile. The smile is representative of a larger. It's a simple. Like,
it's a
can
symbol.
you guys think like in two levels? Like, do we really need to spell it out? Yeah.
Apparently, we do because again, you have. I can't. I don't know. Again, why are you a fan of a coach? Like all he does is just talk for a living and make decisions about who plays when and pat certain people that he considers his favorites on the shoulder more than others. Like he's a coach. And side note, there are a lot of coaches that people. I'm not saying Kerr's an awful person, but I do respect integrity and. Steve Kerr, for all the people out there who love him because he's like this liberal darling here in the San Francisco Bay Area, where was the integrity when Hong Kong, which lost its democracy, he kept his mouth shut about that, man. Like instead of like saying the right thing, which is people in a community were seeing their rights disappear before their eyes. Daryl Morey calls it out publicly. It turns into a financial disaster because China is responsible for close to $1 billion a year in revenue for the NBA. But again, if you're getting what is the definition of what's financially beneficial? And agreed again, Kerr fandom. It's one of the most mind-boggling things ever.
Man, I don't know about all that. I just talk.
Well,
about
what don't you know about? What are you pushing back on specifically?
No, nothing. I'm just the game preparation is the worst I've seen in my history of fandom. Like they don't. You really didn't need to try that hard in the regular season.
Yeah.
Like things have changed. Man. It's 2025.
They're dropping $5.99. Thank you. Wow. I apologize for getting to this late. Saying Uncle Cy. I am technically an uncle. In my humble opinion, you know what? When you're cracking a joke like that, I gotta get the call. I don't have a good drum roll. That's not a rim shot. I meant a rim shot. I need a rim shot to symbolize joke. All I have is a gong. We'll go with the gong. Wainster saying, in his humble opinion, Steph brings out the best in every those two big threes in the fourth. Absolutely. Total team effort in that fourth quarter. San Antonio votes Draymond Green as Defensive Player of the Year. Well put sentiments, and it elicits me to look up those fourth quarter numbers just to give the people the credit they deserve, because that fourth quarter was insane. So Jimmy Butler played 10 minutes, 46 seconds in that fourth quarter. Had 4 points, 3 rebounds, clutch buckets is what I remember. Very timely. Steph in that fourth quarter as part of his 49-point performance. 14 points, a perfect 5 of 5 from the free throw line, including those 2 games. Let me read you a stat, and you tell me if this surprises you or if it sounds natural. In the fourth quarter of this game, Steph scores 14 points, only 1 3 out of the 9 he made in the game total. What are your thoughts on that?
Say it again, son.
Stephen Curry only had 1 3-pointer in the fourth quarter, and he had 9 total in the game, but he did have 14 points in that fourth quarter. I think that's kind of crazy. But
my guess is the Spurs changed the way they were playing them. They're probably running.
It just feels like he was raining more threes late in the game, but he wasn't. That's the part that surprises me. I guess it's surprising to me that Gary Payton and Brandon Podziemski each had more 3-pointers made in the fourth quarter than Steph. Again, GP2, those 2 late threes, making up for the 2 earlier ones, which were absolute disaster. Again, he makes up for it with huge fourth quarter buckets. Brandon Podziemski also going 2 for 2 from deep in that fourth quarter, which was huge. So yeah, 32-point fourth quarter, 32 of the team's 109 points coming in that fourth quarter. And Wainster, thank you for being the inspiration for us touching on that subject, because those are great points. Wainster dropping another $5.99. Wow, Wainster, thank you for buying dinner. Saying thank you, Coach Kerr, for shaking things up. Great move, inserting where there's a will. And Moody, a different team, maintain that energy in New Orleans. And yeah, that's where this game is Sunday. Side note, promoting ahead, Swish culture is going to be my two, which helps this program a lot. So thank you in advance, Swish, for that. Side note, you could always do that too. I mean, I hope you are aware that like I'm not an impediment for you if you ever want to like dual stream this on your Sprewell Was Right channel, Armando. Just feel free to do so if you ever want to. That's all I'm trying to say.
It'll help me and my 67 subscribers.
You got to build it up. I mean, I think last time you were on, it was in the 40s or 50s.
Hey,
so,
man, I love it. The people that watch, we have a good time, man. It's good comments.
Yeah,
me and my cousins are really enjoying the feedback.
Good. It's yeah, and so Wainster giving praise to Kerr, and look, he does deserve praise for gem of a find that Mike Dunleavy Jr. nailed in the second round, the number 56 pick in the draft. Looks legit. Udonis Haslem in that halftime panel show for Amazon Prime that I've been talking about repeatedly was also giving very high praise to Will Richard. Apparently, they're both a University of Florida alum. And then Brent Barry also digging into it during the broadcast as the color analyst tonight, talking about how much easier it is for players to fit playing for Steve Kerr when they have those 4 years of experience in college. I mean, you know, it's kind of like could be a fairly obvious statement saying that, but still, it's just noted. Just wanted to let you guys know. And then Tommy dropping $5 in the chat saying, I hear Porzingis, Anthony Davis, and Sabonis with the Sacramento Kings maybe on the trade block. If you're the Dubs, do you make a run at any of them to win now? That's a good question. And you paid $5, so let's get into it right now. Here's what I can tell you with damn near certainty. You can trade for all three, right? Like all three in my Sabonis, I 100% will blown rebuild in just a second here. Porzingis, I have no clue if technically officially he's available. I'm guessing he is. He's with the Hawks currently. The Hawks traded for him, and I don't know if they want to trade him. So I don't know anything about Porzingis. So forgive me there. I'm ignorant when it comes to Porzingis and whether he's available and what Atlanta wants for him. Anthony Davis, I think it's a fairly safe assumption. Still an assumption. I do need to let people know that. I don't know for a fact. I don't think anyone knows for a fact if Anthony Davis is available. I can tell you for his name is available because, again, the Kings are likely going to blow that shit up. Let's start with Anthony Davis. I tried out the trade machine, and here's how the Warriors could get Anthony Davis. Jimmy Butler. Just straight up. Like, if you traded Jimmy Butler, and I'm going to guess the Mavericks would want picks attached to that stage of his career. Or well, I'll throw in a first-round pick for that, but that's all you're going to get. I think Jimmy Butler to Dallas makes sense for them because he's a Texas kid. They're struggling. They could probably use someone as a connector to help out Cooper Flagg as well. That is the easiest way for that trade to work. The trade machine gave green lights on both fronts. The moment you start trying to make it work, first of all, if you're going to, and so you'd have to wait another 2 months to explore that trade, but you could do Anthony Davis and Jimmy Butler now. What are your thoughts on that, Armando?
AD, man, I don't know. Do you think the Warriors would actually do that? What's AD's nickname? Street clothes?
No, I don't think they'd actually do that. No, but I'm just letting people know it would be it would be possible.
You know, there's a lot
Armando,
of
what are
teams
your
that are
thoughts
about to panic. You know, the Mavs are going to blow it up. The Clippers are pretty close.
I think the Clippers will blow. I think they're cooked too.
Yeah,
They're
like there's
well. Here,
gonna be-
actually, hold on. Here's one thing that's very important about the Clippers. They don't own their first round draft pick next year. Do you know who does?
who?
Can you guess what the team is
Oh,
that
the
actually
Thunder.
does own their pick, which could be the number 1 pick in the draft next year?
Thunder.
Yes, that is batshit crazy. The OKC Thunder folks talk about the rich own the Clippers pick. So the Clippers might blow it up just to get someone else's first round pick, so they have something. But yeah, they might be a candidate.
They should try to get the Warriors pick. They should try to bamboozle and get the Warriors pick. That would be great for the Clippers.
There you go. Yeah, and I haven't studied the roster. We could do like a whole just show on potential trades, but we'll focus on these three for now. Would you do that though? And actually, before you answer that, Armando, what are your thoughts on? We have this Steve Kerr crotch writer. I think that's the most PC to say it. Agent Jamie. I've seen this guy in the chat numerous times, referring to the Allstate insurance commercials, because naturally anonymity is the calling card for all of the Kerr apologist crowd. Saying the Warriors lose this game if Kuminga plays. So dumb. But I'm sorry to even address this. Your thoughts?
Yeah, you know what? Agent Jamie, maybe you're right. You know, they run an ass system. You know, they run a 3 connectors and a JK not allowed to shoot. So yeah, maybe you're right. They would lose.
You actually laughed at that. Good. Good sense of humor. What about Porzingis? Any thoughts there? I have virtually no thoughts. I don't think the Warriors would want him either. I don't know what the price would be.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be ridiculous to do something like that, but I don't think very highly of the Warriors GM anymore.
Mike Dunleavy Jr.?
Yeah, because they signed out Horford. So
what about Will Richard, though? Doesn't Will Richard kind of balance that a little bit?
It ain't that hard to find guys in the second round that could actually shoot and get it in. Like there's 50 pods every year in the draft. Like people just don't watch other teams. One thing I wanted to mention was, good thing we won tonight. Can you imagine the DEFCON 5 bells if we lost tonight after the effort we just gave?
It wouldn't have looked good.
Yeah,
it would not have been a good look. This was all Steph.
Good thing Wemby missed that wide open foul line shot. Good thing. That's
tonight good. To me was a friendly reminder of Stephen Curry's, not just his greatness, but how he makes Steve Kerr look so good. Like if Steve Kerr does not have Steph, like what are we talking about here, man? I have no pushback to that.
I mean, he doesn't have Steph anymore. He doesn't have the Steph that he's been banking on. That's why we're 500.
That's a good point. That is a very good point. That's very valid. And what about Porzingis? Let's just scratch that off the list. That there's nothing appealing there. What about the third player on the list? Arvydas. That's what his first name is, right? Or is that his dad's name? What's his first name? Is it Arvydas? Sabonis?
Yeah.
Why am I brain farting for that? Anyways, Sabonis of the Kings, whose dad was an all-time legend. He's a pretty DeMontis. That's his name. God damn it! Now I remember. Arvydas was his dad. DeMontis Sabonis is his name. Hate him on the team. He's a massive defensive liability. If he was matched up against Victor Wembanyama tonight, Victor Wembanyama goes for 50 points, 20 rebounds, and the Spurs, I think, easily take care of business. If Domantas Sabonis had real value, the Kings would not be a shitty team. His predecessor, the Pacers, would not have traded him after they were a shitty team, Pirtle type, right? Like you need bigs of the NBA. They all have value. They're all going to get paid. He is a damn good player. Don't get me wrong. And I feel like I'm slandering the man a little bit. Like he puts up excellent numbers. I wouldn't hate having him on my team, but in an era where speed is so important, where defense is vitally important, where spacing is incredibly important. He doesn't check any of those boxes, right? Like you're getting him for efficiency down low in terms of good offense. You're getting him for boosting your rebounding numbers. I don't even know if you can count him as a good shot blocker, but at least he does have size. Ultimately, I am not giving a bonus.
The Kings have been trying to,
but they're not. But they
Sabonis
wouldn't
for
trade him
2
for.
years. Nobody will
But
take
to
him.
them, like they would laugh off the idea of Kuminga. Like I don't know if they still would, but they want a lot for Sabonis. That much I know, which maybe is crazy too. But yeah, what are your thoughts on all that? Sorry, shut up.
No team in the league is going to take a contract that big for a guy that should be playing 15 minutes a game. Like it ain't like you cannot trade for a contract that size and expect to be a playoff contender in the West. Like that's a backup position. Like I hate to be so simple about it, but you know, he's a negative toxic asset. They have to attach draft picks to him. They don't want to admit that, so they're pushing for a lot, but you know that you're not seeing for what it is. They signed him to too much money.
And here is his contract. I'll show the audience just to give them a clue as to how bad that is. You're absolutely right, by the way. If there was no salary cap, it wouldn't matter, but there is. So the percentage of that salary in relation to the rest of your team, it matters. And yeah. Oh, was that my own echo? Oh, sorry. And so here's the graphic. Hope I got this right. Here it is. And I don't know if you folks can see that or not, but Domantas Sabonis, just piggybacking off what you said about his contract. So he's owed $42 million and change this year. He has 2 more years after this. Next year he's owed $45 million, and then $48 million the year after that. Yeah, there's no chance in hell. I mean, if the Kings would somehow agree to a package to this, like Podziemski, Buddy Hield, I don't even know if I'd want to get rid of Moody for him. To me, the Warriors personnel, the vast majority of it carries far more value than that, and especially when you factor in these numbers. Oh my God,
Dude,
no, hell
this
no.
is twice as much money as Draymond Green.
Yeah. And KKS says that's unfortunate. You're right. It is unfortunate. It's so yeah. So I'd say let's rule all that out. But one thing that some folks in the chat and otherwise have brought up, which is a good topic, and we'll save this for an entire show, an entire episode the next time. There's a nice maybe 2 days off in between games. I don't know when that's going to be, but the Warriors' schedule is so frenetic and insane at this point in the season market because there is going to be some talent there as well. Like the Wizards come to mind in terms of players that are just going to, let go. And these are players who, in theory, should be available for the veteran minimum, although you're now competing with other teams as well. So a lot of research is going to be needed. I might even need to bring in a cap expert or something like that.
It'll be a good topic on leading up to January 15th. It's going to really heat up. With that Kuminga date, like, man, is it going to be great? Like it's going to be the only thing you'll be hearing because all the fans that don't watch the games are going to have opinions about where Kuminga should be traded and for what in January. So it's going to be a big time topic in January, and we'll have at the end of December. Our schedule is super soft. We will see if the veterans enjoy playing around Christmas and New Year's. We'll see if they're willing to put it in for those games.
Yeah.
And those like 6 games at the end of December are absolutely must-stable teams. And January and February, we talked about this in one of our summer. There's no back-to-backs. However, the stupid media thinks that those are easy games. And
should we just start saying that from now on, like every time? Every single time we say the media, we add the word stupid in front of it.
Yeah.
Because I did. Sorry. Yeah.
In January, it's literally a game every other night for the entire month. I think somewhat into February. So, like, the fatigue meter, I mean, we are on red line celebrating tonight. So let's see where it goes.
Greg Ross wants us to call him the cute media. Maybe we'll just leave out the adjective in front of it altogether. But yeah, you're right. There was a stretch there in one day, and it does catch up to you if you're not giving your veterans rest.
I guess somebody brought it up in the chat, and the Mavs are really looking to move Gafford for assets. His stock is really high right now. Is that something you guys would want? Like, it's gonna take.
Who again? Sorry,
Kuminga. Gafford.
Well, yeah, because Ken Valentino, if I got your name correct, Keno Valentino is asking, does Kuminga for Gafford work? Let's find out. Let's bust out the trade machine. Let's see if we can do this in real time. Do you have a preference for a trade machine, Armando? No. Like, is there one that's a favorite? All right. Well, the one that looks aesthetically best for a screen, accurate. So let's give them a try. I'll share my screen as well, so we can engage in this exercise together. Because I'm curious. I think Daniel Gafford makes something like 14 or 15 million this year. Kuminga's pencil for, I think, 22. Sorry. Hold on. What screen do I have to go? There we go. Sorry, I have all these buttons in front of me. A little overwhelming sometimes. Okay, so here is our team 1 will be the Golden State Warriors, and then team 2 will be the Dallas Mavericks. So the idea, God damn it. That's right. We can't, none of these trade machines give you the option of skipping forward ahead to January 15th, which is a massive problem. And I've already tried this with other trade machines as well. If anyone in the chat can help out with, maybe if there is one out there that factor where you can push the date to January 15th, let us know, please. By the way, Baby Cakes bringing up something I said a year ago, that Vooch guarantees a ring. That was last year. Stay relevant, please. Times change fast in life and the NBA. But again, we can't use Kuminga in any of these scenarios because none of these trade machines will let Kuminga be included in the deal because he literally cannot be traded until January 15th. Notice Al Horford is also blocked out. GP2, I don't know why he's blocked out, but he is. I also didn't know DeAnthony Melton was signed to a 2-year deal. That's signed. The Warriors can legally, officially sign him now. I don't know what's going on there. I have reached out to numerous sources who at times feed me information. I also reached out to Sam Gordon. No one has answers so far, except what I mentioned some weeks back. A source informing me that don't be surprised if they don't sign Seth right away. And we're now seeing this happen in real time because he was eligible to be signed as early as November 11th. And then that source also told me be prepared for Seth to just be a bench warmer, to be someone that's there entirely for Steph, which is insane because I already think Seth is better than a bunch of guys getting minutes on this team. I don't know what's going on there. That actually is kind of wild. Desi in the chat's, by the way, saying there's Draymond hate. Who's hating on Draymond? I don't see any Draymond Green hate. Did you see that comment about Jimmy Butler a moment ago? Armando, I thought I brought that up for you because I thought you'd love the dig and the fact that Jimmy Butler makes something like $54 million. And
I highlighted it on my Threads account, but I think Zach Lowe said that Andrew Wiggins is having a career year so far, even better than the 2022 Warriors year. Man, the Heat got a real shot to make the finals, man. And I'd be really surprised if Andrew Wiggins doesn't if he's healthy, if he's not on the All-Star team on there with that coach, man. Steve Kerr did not know how to use Andrew Wiggins, and it was glaringly obvious. And he's unleashed, and they got a whole offense there. So, the original sin of this team was the panic trade last year. for a $53 million connector, and they learned the entire wrong lesson from last year, and that's why the only explanation is they're just cashing the checks this year.
I'm going to push back hard on two things. One being that the Heat could make the finals. That would shock me. And two, are you easily forgetting how bad the Warriors were when I know you follow that up usually with Kerr misusing him, but the Warriors were going nowhere. I mean, they had to make that trade. I don't know if there was a better option available either than Jimmy Butler. So you still don't like the Butler trade? Is that what you're saying right now?
No way, man. It's ridiculous. When you play Brandon Podziemski and Dennis Schroeder with Andrew Wiggins at the power forward, like, no shit, you're gonna lose games. Are you kidding me? My little baby cousin could tell me that. It's ridiculous, dude. Like, what the hell? Like, what? We're doing this in the NBA?
I feel like Gingy Cock, if I'm pronouncing that right, is very, very accurate. This person or she, I don't know, writes, Steve Kerr took the athleticism out of the Warriors. And just to add to that, it's the issue really is that he doesn't value athleticism. Like it's not in his pecking order of priorities. Like athleticism is like 7th or 8th, like behind, how quickly you could pass the ball, your ball handling, your IQ, your chemistry, shooting. Yeah. What else is in there before we get to athleticism?
What I've noticed about Jimmy Butler this year is all the good teams are sticking power forwards and centers on him. The Thunder were running 2 centers at the same time, and they had the big guy guarding Jimmy Butler. That's the scouting report on Jimmy.
Well, but that's Chet, right? Chet's the other center you're referring to, correct?
Yeah, and
I mean, he's not really a typical center, though. I mean, that dude is just a freak. I would agree with you if Hartenstein was guarding him, but Chet Holmgren guards everybody.
Hartenstein and Chet were playing together, and what I'm saying is that the scouting report on Jimmy Butler, if he's playing power forward, is to stick a big guy on him and not double. And like the good teams are doing that now. When they were winning, Jimmy Butler, if Jimmy Butler was actually playing shooting guard on this team with real positional size, like we'd be beating teams by 30. Like, this is the championship roster lurking with a play and coaching. And, the thing is, Jimmy Butler is a master at isolating guards. Mm-hmm. Like, when he gets switched on to guards, it's a freaking, it's 2 free throws, layups, wide open threes. And we should be milking that. That's what we should have been doing against the Thunder, was just, driving into Kuminga and Butler mismatches and building off offense off that, not motion offense to 3 connectors to nowhere. So, like, Jimmy, there's a great player with Jimmy, but he's just not being used correctly. It's really sad.
It is sad. Let's play some more sound. A lot came down, and one of the sound bites that I'm looking at right now features Brandon Podziemski wearing that. What do you call it? A hairband? Is that what those are called? Do they still call it that? The thing that people with long hair, it's like a moon shaped kind of curve thing that you just put it up to it's not, it doesn't create a man bun, but it creates you'll see for yourselves if you're watching this on YouTube. I don't know. Put his hair back, and he was interviewed after this game. Unfortunately, I just lost where. Oh, there it is. I'm almost there. I had it queued up, and then it did not get it. I lost the queue. Forgive me for this, but here's Podziemski. He is talking about confidence as he wears a hairband. So let's hear from Brandon Podziemski and his hairband. No judgment, but he is wearing a hairband. And then we'll talk about it. Here is Brandon Podziemski or Podziemski, depending on who you ask.
Fun to be a part of, fun to watch. Trying to have fun and much more difficult today maybe tonight, but it's my favorite end of physicality. Just a little bit more switching. Last game they stayed with the matchup, the screen up, and then they just switched something. Trying to figure it out on the fly. With Steph, go to the line, like 6 seconds. you nervous at all? Or you just like basically think it's just not?
What kind of question is that? Side note, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna. I don't know who asked that, so they're not gonna get called out. What kind of question is that?
Rewind it.
What's up?
Let's hear it again. Rewind it. Let's hear it again.
It's just dumb. Here, hold on.
Last game, they stayed with the matchup. I'm going to go the screen up. And I did a switch, so trying to figure it out on the fly. With Steph, you nervous at all? Or you just like basically think it's just not
Go Slater.
You nervous at all? Or you just like basically think it's just not
When Steph goes to the line and the game's on the line, and are you like nervous out there? Is it like crazy? Are you freaking out, bro? Like, describe your feelings, dude, when you're standing out there with like Steph and free throws. Like, what kind of question is that? Let's hear that.
It was
What's
Slater.
It was sorry, Slater, but that was corny.
What did you say on that last defensive play? Fox shot.
Yeah, Kerr did a great job. Good communication. And good shot. How needed did these two wins feel as you guys are kind of Yeah, I mean, any win always helps, but basically the team is 8-2. Had the rhythm coming in and getting two that we needed.
Feel like you guys found the rhythm these last 2 games? Is there anything in particular?
Just playing hard. Steve just said that.
All right, it's just boring. There's no point in even touching that. So that was Brandon Podziemski, and again the stat sheet. He makes those two fourth quarter threes, which were huge. Brandon Podziemski tonight, if you take away the fourth quarter, it was awful. It was awful. Like he completely redeemed himself with that fourth quarter performance. His stat line: 29 minutes, 56 seconds. 3 of 6 from 3. That's huge. 50%. Praise given. 0 of 2 from inside the 3-point line. Make that make sense. He had 1 trip to the free throw line. Was only 1 of 2 from the free throw rebounds. And despite playing 30 minutes, once again had just 3 assists. To put it in perspective for you, with the assist numbers. Oh no, actually he was one of the leaders. I mean, Draymond Green had 8. So he was second on the team tonight in assists. But again, the Warriors only had 18 total. It was a very low assist night. Not natural for them, but I don't know. Any commentary on pods?
The chat is cracking me up, man. You guys are ripping on Pods' lick more than you were ripping on my 67 subscribers. It's pretty funny, man.
Bun? I don't think that's a man bun, because man buns involve like a ponytail. Like I picture a scrunchie holding it all together. That's when you get the hairband. That's a weird. I don't know what you call that, but
nah, man. I don't comment on young people's things anymore. I mean, the people that come into my office is just like, man, you guys do you. I support you. Styles change, man. Styles change. It's all good. It's all good.
I don't think I actually judged him. I just said he's wearing a hairband. GP2 again. We talked about him a little bit. He had again just a great night. The Spurs are perfect for him. Perfect. There's like no better of all the 29 other teams in the NBA. I think it's safe to say the Spurs are easily number 1 for teams that GP2 is ideal for. Just my thoughts on it.
Will Richards is a massive upgrade over Brandon Podziemski.
Agreed. Will Richard, and again, you talked about Mike Dunleavy Jr. in terms of bombing, how he used the mid-level exception, right? He spent that entirety of the money this year on Al Horford. Last year, he spent it on D'Anthony Melton. That was nearly $13 million for 6 games for a player that already had durability issues. So it's a balancing act because those were questionable decisions. But again, Will Richard at pick 56 could turn into gold. Everything about him so far is just unreal. It's almost too good to be true. I'm going to knock on wood because, you know, I don't want that to be, you know, I don't want to hex the guy. Let's hope for the best.
Look,
I mean,
I hear what you're saying, but you know, trading for Dennis Schroeder, trading $53 million for Jimmy to a contract no one else in the league was going to give him, and then not trading away Podziemski away from Steve Kerr is a massive red flag. And like, people think this Al Horford thing is like a big surprise. Like, dude, I don't see how any NBA scout didn't watch Al Horford last year and immediately think this guy could be still in the league playing heavy minutes. That guy sees the floor on the Western Conference playoff game. Like, I'm worried about his ability to walk in retirement. So, like, you know, I don't. Those are like massive red flags. I hear you with some good draft picks, but like, I'm a little worried about the front office decision making right now.
I hear you on that. I hear you. And again, Al Horford, when he's making those threes, it hides the deficiencies we notice on the other side.
Oh, when he's making threes against G Leaguers on a back-to-back? Yeah, okay.
Armando, do you have the box score in front of you? Because Al Horford's was ugly. Can you see what he did?
I didn't see.
He was 0-4 from the field, 0-2 from deep. I remember those 3-point.
I've been saying it all year. I said it all summer. And yeah, Al Horford's best skill is still his shooting. His rebounding is not at an NBA level. Guys are just putting slight bumps on him, and he cannot box out. He's not protecting the rim. He gets a couple occasional blocks. So then the kind of easy fans see that and they get hyped. But you know, it's a layup line. We call him the broomstick in our household. So like, you know, he's costing him minutes when he's out there, man. It's bad. It's real bad.
And I don't know how you feel about this. This is my opinion on the current Warriors. They're one elite center away from like being in the discussion with the Thunder and the Nuggets. I really believe that, but they don't have that elite center. I think what they expected from Horford is a lot more than he's actually giving them. Tonight, 0 points, 3 boards. And so someone in the chat asked me if I could use the spot track trade machine, if that makes any difference. It didn't make any difference. None of these trade machines will factor in the January 15th date that allows a lot of these players who got signed recently using these apps and websites. It's annoying. But that's where we are. So I tried. I want to show this heartfelt moment of Steph. This was after the game. And even though the Spurs fans were just left in disbelief after that performance, again, it's one of those nights where Spurs fans, for the most part, I feel like they know their basketball. And it was one of those games, I don't know if you felt the same looking at the crowd when it was all finished, where they were just in this, again, disbelief. I used that word a second ago, but there was also some admiration and respect. By the 15th round, it's Rocky and the big Russian Drago, and the crowd in Moscow was like cheering for Rocky by the end, like he won them over and he earned their respect. I feel like this was Steph kind of did tonight. People were just so like in awe of the performance, and so he's doing a post-game interview. Did you like the Rocky IV reference, or is that not your cup of tea?
Yeah, for sure.
It's still one of my favorite movies ever. It's just so corny and so cheesy, but if it's on TV, I'll watch it. And here is Steph. This an NBA on Prime's social media accounts published this. Steph in the middle of an interview, signing autographs for kids. Check this out. Oh, and that was Steph's new book. So that actually was a nice opportunity for Steph to promote his new book that's out in time for the holidays. Side note, Tim Hardaway is going to be on the show soon. He's got a new book out. LJ Cryer's agent let me know, or told me that he'd reach back out early next week regarding LJ's availability. So just some updates on those two fronts in terms of upcoming guests. But
sorry
Yeah.
There's a great I kind of want to hear it. There's Amazon had a locker room speech from Steve Kerr.
Oh, let me find that.
It's on gsw.all.day on Threads.
I'll find it. Just there's so much. I'm so behind on the feed where you get all this stuff. I saw that. Oh, here it is. I found it. So this is the clip you're talking about. This is Steve Kerr giving a locker room speech after. We don't get a glimpse of this often. So and I hope this is what you're talking about. So let's listen. This is again courtesy of Amazon Prime. This was during their post-game coverage. And let's hear Warriors head coach Steve Kerr in the locker room.
That was incredible. That was incredible competition. And we just battled the whole game and stayed with it. Made some huge plays. You know, I hardly ever say anything about this guy because he just does it every night.
Side note, in case you're wondering who this person is, his first name is Nicholas.
I feel like I might say something. Please, okay. Actually, Dre, what would you do? Let's have one of the rookies or one of the young guys say something. Let's show Will Richard here. No. We got Jack. Jack, come on, talk to us.
God just blessed Steph, man. I don't know.
Who was that guy?
No.
You don't know? Does the chat know? Who was that dude? Hold on. Somebody's got to know who that was. Who was that guy? I got to hear. How do we not know a Warriors player? What's going on here?
Jackson Rowe.
Hold on.
No.
That was not Jackson Rowe. I know who it is. Or maybe it is. Or maybe it is. Maybe that is Jackson. I never see Jackson bundled up like that. Maybe that was him. Okay, there we go. So, all right. Well, yeah, and then of course surrounding Kerr is his best friend Bruce Frazier, who I will never get over Kerr getting a complete pass where he had Bruce Frazier as his number one assistant for an entire year. Bruce Frazier, again, he's there entirely because he's Steve Kerr's best friend. The nepotism thing is pretty wild, but is that what you're looking for? Is that what you wanted to see?
Yeah, I'm just curious to see the vibe and yeah. I mean, I don't want to criticize it too much because it's not like we saw everything. So
True. Yeah.
Man,
Here's the vibe that I got from that. But that's just
hey man,
is there anything left we should talk about as we what's up?
The game plan is Steph Curry scoring 50 points tonight. I wonder what's Steph Curry's averages in our wins. I mean,
I'll look up the splits. Those are easy stats to find. So Steph and Curry after this performance tonight, I'll pull up the
minutes.
The splits on Steph, more specific. What's up?
And the minutes. Yeah.
In the minutes. Okay. So let me get that for you right now. And then we'll bring Chardol on. I'm sure he's got some things to say. Give me 1 second, Chardol, and we'll do the scoreboard and wrap it up. That's the remaining agenda. Armando, what do you have planned for the weekend? It is Friday. Let's play some music now. Let's get the music going. It's Friday night. The Warriors, again, that's incredible. Did you know anyone who predicted the Warriors would win both games in San Antonio? That's insane. That is crazy. That is crazy. And yet that's what the Warriors did. Okay, Steph and Curry splits. Let me find that real fast. And you more specifically want Steph splits for wins and losses?
The wins, yeah. Just
correct?
The wins.
Just the wins. Okay. I'll give you both. I'll give you a comparison. So Steph on the year. Hold on 1 second.
Well, I guess he didn't play in the losses. In many of the losses.
Well, he's played in 11 games this season. That's what the splits reveal, and they played 14 games total. So Steph on the year is so the splits I think already reflect tonight, but then the regular season stats don't. But so entering tonight, Steph was averaging 27.1 points per game. Excuse me. That's going to go up. He was averaging 3.9 assists per game. That is far below his career average of 6.4. That's interesting. He's averaging 3.5 rebounds per game. That's below his career average of 4.7. His free throw percentage is at 93.5. His career average is 91.2, the all-time leader already. And his three-point percentage this year, and this is not factoring tonight, 36.9. That is low by Steph standards. And again, we're also including the games where he was sick, and clearly he had a slow start to the year. I hope people understand why I was panicking a little bit, not a little, a lot, about whether or not we were starting to see age catch up to him. 6 wins and 4 losses. Remember, these stats are updated. He's played 31.8 minutes per game in the wins, 27.8 in the losses. He shoots 47.8% in the wins, 41.6% in the losses. 3-point shooting, 37.9% in the wins, 35.6% in the losses. 97.6% is his free throw percentage when they win. And when they lose, that number drops to 85%. That is kind of crazy. The rebounding is pretty consistent. Wins or losses, 3.7 to 3.3. And turnovers are the most obvious. Only 1.7 turnovers per game in wins, 3.8 turnovers per game in losses. He averages 29 points per game in wins, 24.3 points per game in losses, and last but not least, and I think this stat is very telling as well. When they win, he averages 5.0 assists per game. When they lose, that number drops to 2.3. So very stark, And again, this team goes where Steph goes. Is that kind of like what you're getting out of this too? What are your thoughts on
yeah. I mean, does Steph need to average 40 points a game, i.e., the greatest season in the history of the league for this team to be in the top 6? I don't know. But yeah, and it's I'm enjoying it. I can't wait to see him keep trying. Like, there'll be lots of
J Rock in our chat saying Spot Track is the trade machine, and that they do factor these trade restrictions. I'll take another look at it. I briefly glanced tonight. I did not see the option to factor in that January deadline. Sure at all. And again, we're starting to wrap it up here. We've been going 2 hours. Following again the Warriors' huge win tonight. Final score in a thriller. 109-108 with Stephen Curry's 2 free throws at the end, the difference. Shardall, real quickly. How you doing, buddy?
Good to see you guys.
You're out?
Yeah, I'm out.
You're tapped? Have a great night, brother. Have a great night. Armando Lara's out. Armando, it's a swap. Shardall, how you doing?
Hi, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of your YouTube channel. You make some great content videos on the platform. The Golden State Warriors took down the San Antonio Spurs 109-108. Steph Curry went off for 49 points. I mean, Steph Curry is that type of player who can change the whole game around. Like, the whole team can rely on Stephen Curry to lead the squad. I mean, like, he's just an amazing type of player. I mean, like, he's just like, that's why Stephen Curry leads the team. That's why Stephen Curry makes the most money in jersey sales.
What do you think about? Are you a sneaker head? Like, do you follow the whole kick scene?
So for me, when I heard that Stephen Curry split with Under Armour, which is, I own both of his shoes. I'm a big fan of Under Armour. I love the company.
Still?
I was very sad when he split with Under Armour, and now he's gonna have a contract with Nike.
Most likely, yeah.
10-year contract with Nike.
So are you going back to Nike? Because again, this sneaker thing.
I
I wore Jordans. I
love Nikes, but I'm more of an Under Armour fan. Like, still? I still like Under Armour, even, but The Curry 13 will be the last shoe that will be unveiled by Under Armour in February, and after that, they won't be making any shoes by Under Armour. Which is like, I mean, I understand they move, but anytime you split with a shoe company that you've been invested for so many years in, it hurt. It definitely hurts. It hurts to say that, but I'll have to wear, I'll have to Nike
You'll be
now.
okay. I promise you'll be okay.
No, but I'm a big Curry fan. When I heard about the news, when the news broke to everybody, it was kind of, it wasn't easy to hear when everybody heard that he was splitting with Under Armour.
Yeah. I guarantee you're going to be wearing Nikes in no time. And to me, Under Armour screwed the pooch, and they're a company that will not.
For me, when I wear a new shoe, it's hard to break into a new shoe when you get it. I mean, it takes a couple of years for you to break into a new shoe that you have not broken into yet. I mean, like, that's really the problem with wearing a new shoe, is that, like, it's gonna look kind of weird when people come up to me and saying, like, why are you not wearing an Under Armour shoe? Why are you wearing a Nike shoe? And I'm saying, this is just the NBA decided, Under Armour decided to break up with Steph Curry and the company, so it's not my decision that Under Armour decided to break ties with Steph Curry. I mean, I'm not the one to say that. I mean, like, just leave me alone and just, and let stop telling me that
invest
all these
Armando. That's fine.
all these
Rager Sherdal is saying that what are the chances of Steph signing with Adidas? Probably 0%.
No, F Adidas. I am not. If Stephen Curry, if they have an Adidas shoe, I will not buy that shoe.
All right, fair.
No, F that company.
Genji Gawk is saying that your Curry Under Armours that you have will be worth bank someday. Your thoughts?
The Under Armour shoes I own will be worth millions and millions of dollars if you sell them online, and somebody else will buy them.
Sherdal, are you ready for the scoreboard?
I'm ready for the score.
I'm ready to chill.
Let's wrap up the show, man. I love you. You have a great sense of humor.
I love you.
And you make the show entertaining as it already is.
I try. That's all.
That's what I love about you.
I try, brother. Let's get
You're
through
the greatest person in the world.
And that is not true, but I really do appreciate you.
No, I'm a golden glazer.
You're just a golden days.
No, I like glazing you. I like glazing all my friends.
You don't have to, but I really do.
I go beyond just to do it for you. I just go beyond over and beyond.
You're a good man, Sherdal. Thank you. Well, the game that was on before the Warriors and the Spurs was Knicks Heat. Did you watch that at all?
I didn't watch that game. How was it? What was the result?
It was a very high scoring event. The Knicks, without Jalen Brunson, won 140 to 132. Karl Anthony Towns, 39 points, 11 rebounds in the win. Norm Powell, 38 points in the loss. The Orlando Magic, a team the Warriors are going to be playing not Sunday, but Tuesday. So I know someone in the chat asked if there's a line yet for Warriors-Pelicans Sunday. There is not. I looked it up, and they don't have that line present. But Orlando is a team that the Warriors are going to have to check out here. They won tonight, 105-98 at home, hosting the Brooklyn Nets. Somebody named Silva, I don't know who the hell that is, who plays for the Magic, 22 points, 9 rebounds in the win.
What were your thoughts on Stephen
Jr., 24 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists in the loss. Go ahead.
What were your thoughts on Stephen Curry getting 46 points yesterday against San Antonio, getting 49 points today against the same team, the San Antonio Spurs in San Antonio? He has gotten 95 points altogether in both games against the same team.
First player in NBA history to
score 95 points to do what he did is amazing. That's amazing.
It is.
95 points. It could have been 100.
Absolutely amazing.
If he put 51 points today, it would have been 100.
Have you heard of a player named Tristan D Silva?
I've heard of Tristan D Silva. I had a trading card pack. I went to the NBA All-Star Weekend in Moscone Center, and I had an NBA trading card pack that opened up. Prism.
Yeah.
And there was a Tristan D Silva trading card in that pack.
He had a good night tonight. He was the number 18 pick in last year's draft. He scored 22 points, grabbed 9 rebounds for the Orlando Magic. First time I've ever even seen his name, at least that my memory can recollect. Elsewhere, and congrats on getting that card in your pack. The Pistons, 114-105 winners tonight at home, hosting the Philadelphia 76ers.
But I had that Tristan D Silva card in the pack that I got, but I put them in the washer. Oh. And then it got ruined in the washer.
Oh, well, that's not good.
And I had to throw it away, so I lost all the cards in the washer.
Well, that sucks.
And then I lost that card, so I could have but
it's not gonna be.
I lost. It got in the washer.
I wouldn't worry too much. Well, let me finish my sentences and then jump in. The Detroit Pistons 114-105 winners again. Javonte Green for Detroit, 21 points, 9 rebounds in the win. Tyrese Maxey, who's having a hell of a year for the Philadelphia 76ers so far, 31 points, 7 rebounds, 4 steals in the loss. Sherdal, what are your thoughts on the Portland Trailblazers, a team the Warriors will play a week from today back at Chase Center?
So the Golden State Warriors have to dismantle the Portland Trailblazers because they don't even have a coach. They don't have Chauncey Billups with that whole NBA gambling investigation deal with Terry Rozier, so he's no longer the head coach of the Trailblazers. Now Thiago Splitter is going to be the new. He's the interim head coach, but hopefully becomes the head coach. The Warriors have to dismantle the Trailblazers because they don't have a coach.
Well, Thiago Splitter
who got involved in that gaming scandal.
But you're right. Their current head coach is in a lot of legal trouble. Thiago Splitter filling in for him. I bring them up for 2 reasons. One, they lost to Houston tonight, 140-116, in another NBA Cup play game. Both teams in the same group as the Warriors. Alperen Şengün, 25 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists.
So
one assist shy of a triple-double. Danny Avdija, 22 points, 10 rebounds for Portland. And I bring up Portland not just because the Warriors are going to play them next week, but Brent Barry mentioned them tonight with an interesting observation, Shardal and everyone else, mentioning Portland as basically being the pioneer of bringing back half-court trap defenses and an increased intensity in defense as a whole, which has been part of the reason for the increase in pace in the NBA this year, highlighting the fact that every team is having to adjust to this new, more aggressive defense that the Portland Trailblazers have inspired. So the last time the Warriors played Portland, they lost. Interesting to see what
are your thoughts on this whole NBA Cup? And what significance does it have towards the standing? Do these games count when you win them?
Yes.
They count?
The only game that doesn't count is the championship, to the best of my knowledge. Every other NBA Cup game counts towards your record. So, which means in theory, I think you can play 83 regular season games. Like that is a possibility, which is kind of wild. And I think it also means you can play 84 games total. That one won't count. Final and over.
So I'm gonna be going to Mendocino on the for I believe for 2 days. We're gonna go for 2 days. I'm going. We don't know right now. It's an Airbnb.
Like Flagg or like Seacliff. I think Seacliff is actually Sonoma.
We don't know.
Why do you bring that up?
I don't.
Why did you think of Mendo?
I'm going there with the family trip.
Good, enjoy. Are you going to join us from there, like you did with Cabo?
I'm going to join you. I'm going to join you from there.
All right. Are you going to be all quiet again, like you were in Cabo, where you had to whisper and not disrupt the family? You remember that?
I won't have to talk. I won't have to whisper like I did in Cabo because I don't think because I don't think I'll have to whisper because I think I won't have to do that.
Okay. People were worried about you that time. Like when you joined us from Cabo because you were so quiet and you did not bring the typical heat that you do. The Milwaukee Bucks 147-134. Safe to say the over covered there. Winners over the Charlotte Hornets in Milwaukee tonight. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 25 points, 7 rebounds, 18 assists. Let me repeat that. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 18, a 1 and an 8 assists. Knuppel, 32 points, 3 steals in the loss for the Hornets. Milwaukee improves to 8-5. The Hornets drop to 4 and 8. The Sacramento Kings.
That was definitely a tough loss for the Charlotte Hornets. But Con Knuppel's mother was in attendance watching her son play.
Okay. That's some good knowledge. You just randomly threw that in there.
It's always great to see family in the stands cheering their son, cheering her son on. It's very touching to see that you have family in the stands.
Agreed.
Who travel from wherever they came from to come to the game to watch the game.
Agreed. I'm with you. I'm a big family values guy myself. And on that note, Mom, hello. Mom was taking me to all the games, taking me up to the mountains to snowboard, taking me to the ocean when I was young to learn how to surf. Mom, thank you for that. And Dad, hello as well. Dad was blowing up my phone tonight about this streaming issues, which I hope got resolved. I'm going to give the company that hosts our virtual studio a lot of help for that. Forgive us again. Our apologies.
Some of my hobbies I like to do is I like to play video games.
Yes.
I like to play basketball.
What's your game? What are you playing right now? Give us a video game you're playing right now.
I like to play Madden 26 and NBA 2K26.
Okay, so sports games. You don't do like
sports.
You don't do adventure games like games with stories.
No, some of my friends really love playing Minecraft, where you get to build you get to build stuff. They really like all that stuff, and I'm not really into the adventure. I'm not really into the adventure games. I'm more into the sports games.
That's the kid thing. So let's go back to the scoreboard. Let's get through this. A lot of games tonight. Minnesota beating the Sacramento Kings, who will blow up that roster. They're not there, and which begs a lot of questions about whether or not anybody on that team is interesting for a trade. Maybe you talk 3-team trades, but that's down the road. Minnesota took care of business at home tonight, 124-110 to improve to 8-4 on the season. Sacramento dropping to 3-10. Domantas Sabonis, 34 points, 11 rebounds in the loss. Julius Randle, 26 points, 11 rebounds in the win. The LA Lakers, Chardall, they won. Those sons of bitches. They beat the New Orleans Pelicans. Excuse me, the Warriors' next opponent, 118-104 tonight. Austin Reeves, 31 points, 7 assists in the win. Trey Murphy, the third, a player that a lot of Warriors fans would love to have. His name comes up a lot in hypotheticals with Kuminga and trades. He had 35 points and 7 rebounds in the loss. The Pelicans dropped to 2-10. The Lakers improved to 9-4. LeBron James is reportedly on the verge of coming back. And one last game, Chardall and everyone else, and we'll call it a night. A double overtime thriller in Dallas. The LA Clippers hanging on for dear life. They win. Again, double overtime, 133-127, 14 rebounds, 11 assists in the win. Najee Marshall, 28 points, 8 rebounds in the loss. And speaking of the Clippers, my buddy Dime Dropper, who was on the show a couple months ago, he interviewed on his program tonight a kid who just jumped into the middle of the court of a Clippers game, I think a couple of games ago, and the kid came on his program to explain himself. And I guess he's like promoting some Bitcoin thing. I don't know. Do you have any Bitcoins, Chardall?
I don't use Bitcoin, but not really into betting, sports betting.
Okay.
And I love to bet.
What does that have to do with a Bitcoin?
I've heard of Bitcoins, but I haven't invested in them before.
18-year-old Cooper Flagg played 48 minutes tonight in a loss for the Mavericks. 16 points, 5 rebounds, 4 turnovers, 0 assists. But
so Klay Thompson isn't feeling like himself on the Mavericks. I mean, the last game he went like 0 of 6 from the field, 0 of 3, stuff like that. He's just not feeling. Klay Thompson, he was feeling great. He was pairing up with Stephen Curry, Draymond Green. He was feeling himself here in Dallas. He feels like he wants to go back to Golden State. I mean, like he wants to get traded back to the Warriors. You think that's
You're getting all this praise. You're getting a lot of praise in our chat. People love you being the closer of this show. You mentioned a moment ago you lost some subscribers. So promote your YouTube channel. Let's get that thing back up again as we.
So viewers, make sure to hit the like button, smash the subscribe button, ring that notification bell for Golden Days in reference to the 1993 Matthew McConaughey movie Days and Confused, and also subscribe to the SGA Sports Talk channel. I'm at 503 subscribers, and I'm on the road to 600. So I'm at 503 subscribers. I'm on the road to 600. I lost 3 subscribers, but hopefully I'll get those three subscribers back.
Or you'll get 3 new ones, right?
I'm at 504 now.
Oh, good. Went up one. Good. Awesome. Okay. So you got to stay above 500. That's the important. And then where are you with the watch hours? Because I know you're keeping track of that, right?
So I'm at 50 watch hours.
How many do you need to start making money?
4,000 watch hours.
So you better start making some content, buddy.
I haven't been making any content. I'm going live for the Cardinals and 49ers game on Sunday.
You're going to the game?
No, I'm going live for the 49ers and Cardinals game on my channel.
Oh, on your channel. Okay, that's still cool. Brock Purdy, you're happy about that news, right? He's coming back as.
I'm so happy that Brock Purdy's back finally.
Good stuff. Are you? So
I can't
what's your
contain
prediction?
I think San Francisco 49ers 45, Arizona Cardinals 42.
The line for that game, you got me curious. Courtesy of FanDuel, the Niners are just 3-point favorites. They're in Arizona, so you think the Niners are going to drop 45 in Arizona? I love your optimism.
So Brock Purdy is going to have 500 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he's going to go 14 of 17 in passing for Brock Purdy.
Stephen Curry's absolutely amazing, right? Makes people just
Stephen
scream.
Curry is one of the greatest players, and he's absolutely amazing.
He is amazing. And continuing even at 37, going on 38, bringing joy into our lives. Bay Area legend. Is he the greatest Bay Area athlete?
Stephen Curry is the greatest Bay Area legend of all time.
Bigger than Joe Montana.
Stephen Curry should be the GOAT. And what pisses me off is that he's not in that conversation. Stephen Curry should be in the GOAT conversation, and if he isn't in there, then make him be in that conversation.
Sure, all have a great night, everybody. Have a great weekend. Friday, back Sunday with Swish culture. Do you like Swish culture?
I like Swiss culture.
Yeah, we're gonna do a dual stream Sunday. Yeah, so that should be fun.
So on Sunday, November 16th, unfortunately I won't be able to join the post-game show because I'll be streaming the Niners game, which starts at 1:05. So I don't think I'll be able to join the show, but I'll let you know if anything changes and I can come on the show. I'll let you know. I'll email you. I'll hit you up. I'll let you know if anything changes. Today I wasn't planning to come on the show today, but things change. You know, last minute things change. I was able to come on today. I was thinking I wasn't able to come on, but I'm glad I was able to make that work, and I was able to get home in time to join the show.
We're happy. We're stoked. BC in our chats bring up. Well, that wasn't the one, but he brings up 4 Super Bowls versus 4 NBA championships. That is the comparison of Joe Montana and Stephen Curry. But no, Poison Clan in our chat is asking you, Shardal, are you going to be a guest ever again on a Larry Krueger show? I
would love to be a guest on Larry Krueger's channel. I don't think I've ever been on the Krug show before, so I would love to make an appearance on the Krug show.
You've been on that show. I was there when you came on. Has it just been a while? Like, have you taken a break?
It's been a while. Okay. It's been a while.
All right. I
So
think
I'll
that's
be
what Poison
doing
Clan
the,
was asking. Like, are
I'll be
you
doing the 49ers and Cardinals game on Sunday. So if you would love to hop in, be in the chat, just checking how I'm doing, get an update of how I'm doing. I would really love that. But so final score: Warriors take down the San Antonio Spurs, 109 to 108. Stephen Curry goes off, erupts for 49 points, 16 of 26 from the field, 9 of 17 from 3. Stephen Curry is one of the greatest various sports legends of all time, and he will be up there. I would love to see Stephen Curry in the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame one day. See his jersey hanging up
will.
up there.
You will.
But thanks for having me on the show, and you're the best man in the business. You're a true icon.
No, tell everybody
Very
goodbye.
sports
I want you
icon.
to sign off tonight, Sherdal. Sign it off.
It's great. It's chat. It's great that you all joined us tonight. And I hope you have a great rest of your night. And I'll see you back here on Golden Days on a future show on this channel.